Yay! Perfect.
So, how you feeling, Lucy?
I feel fantastic.
Yeah,
How are you?
I'm doing good. So,
Good.
this is episode 19. Is it recording? Yeah. All right.
Yay!
So, yeah, what's up, guys? It is episode 19 of the Most Vulnerable Player, the MVP podcast, and today we have Lucie Calderon. Everybody gets on me from like my Spanish pronunciation sometimes, but
No worries.
yeah. But
Thank you so much for having me. I'm
yeah,
so
for
honored
sure.
to be here.
Yeah. So Lucie Calderon. So what do you do, Lucy?
So right now, my main focus is marketing. I also do a lot of content creation. It went from kind of being like my hobby to something that I'm actually really taking serious now, which has been a really, really wonderful journey. I work a lot in the community. I work a lot with different local brands, national brands, and I'm just having a really good time, living the dream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And you went to Franklin?
I did. I went to Franklin. I graduated in 2018.
2018. Yeah. So
Yeah.
we're the same class, and we kind of have a few mutual friends too. So
Yeah.
it's like we were just talking before the pod, like how everybody's kind of connected in a way. So it's really cool in that, like El Paso's really cool in that aspect where it's easy to make like a lot of different connections and stuff.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a wonderful place to be. You know, you have connections for everything everywhere. Everyone knows everybody, and it's a really big blessing, you know, if you need somebody to do something, if you need help with something, there's always somebody out there that's willing and able to help. So it's really awesome. It's a great community, and I'm so happy to be in it.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm glad to have you on. You took the time to come out.
Yeah, so honored, really.
yeah.
So blessed, so honored, so
Yeah,
grateful.
for
So
sure.
thank you so much once
Yeah,
again.
I got you. So what'd you do? I'm curious about what's like on your work day. Describe like your work day for me, like from when you get up to like what's your routine like?
Cool. So
Yeah.
I'm an early riser. I
Mhm.
wake up very, very early, around 4:15
Wow,
in the
okay.
morning. I love going to the gym.
What time do you go to
early.
sleep?
It just depends.
Yeah.
Sometimes, sometimes it'll be like 10. Sometimes it'll be 9, just depending on my day.
Mm.
Because sometimes after work, I still have more work to do, more of my personal work. So just depends on what time I get everything done. But I usually wake up, typically 4:15, go to the gym at 5, and then by, I would say like, 6:30, I'm done with the gym. I head home, get ready, do my hair, makeup, go to work. So I work downtown. I work at an accounting firm, and I love my job so much. I get to do marketing and branding, which is so awesome. I've learned so much about all kinds of media, all kinds of marketing types, and I get to really just kind of make my own schedule for work in terms of like what I'm working on that day.
Mm-hmm.
But a big focus that I have is creating content for the social media, and obviously like accounting isn't like my profession, right? It's not something that I would say like I'm an expert on. Like if you were to ask me to make content for beauty or fashion or wellness, it would be much easier for me. But I've had to learn a lot about the industry of accounting and how to portray that to an audience, and really make the industry something interesting and informative to people. So I make content. Sometimes I'll make TikToks around the office. I get to plan events, which is something that I have loved to like learn how to really do.
Are you a planner?
Yeah, big
Yeah.
planner, always and forever. And I get to plan events. I get to do cool things like order merch. I get to work with really, really amazing, knowledgeable people in the firm. And so I work an 8 to 5, which is really tiring sometimes, but I really do love this routine that I'm in right now. And typically after work, if I have to edit a reel or make more content, I'll usually take time after work. Sometimes I'll go to the gym at night instead of the morning, just depending on the day or the class I want to do. I do a lot of cycling, so just depending. And I like to meal prep, get everything done early, and then start again the next day.
Yeah. So because I'm very much like routine oriented. Like
Absolutely.
if I get thrown off my routine, like I'm much better now where it used to affect me where like I would just feel off for the rest of the day, but I'm getting a lot better where like if something comes up where I get to adjust, but for sure like my routine is like everything to me, like from when I wake up to like just everything I do.
What's your routine like?
My routine. So like that's kind of tough. So on what day are we talking? Like on a work day or like okay.
What do you do for work?
Okay. So right now I work at Neep Collective.
Beautiful.
So Neep Collective is my family's business. So my brother Javier, my sister-in-law Joanne, they opened up a patio bar and food truck park earlier in August. So we've been
cool.
open like 3 months. And at first I was a trainer. So at the beginning of August I was a trainer at Anytime Fitness.
So cool.
And then I was doing that for like 8 months, and then I was planning to like keep on doing it and just bartend on the weekends.
Okay, where would you bartend?
At our family's business, yeah.
Very nice.
Which I still do bartend on the weekends, so.
That's an art form. Bartending is hard.
For sure,
That's
yeah.
so cool.
Yeah, but yeah. So I was planning to just continue to work anytime during the week and then bartending on the weekends, but literally the first week we opened, my brother was all like, "Yo, I need help with social media."
So cool.
Yeah, so because that's what, like, I was a trainer, but my main, like, I'd say my passion was like filmmaking, videography. Absolutely. And I thought I'd like build a pretty good skill set on that. So when he told me that he was gonna need my help with social media, basically like as a content manager, and I was like, I mean, yeah, for sure, it's a family business, and honestly, like, I love it because the type of content like we're able to make, I have so much creative freedom. And that's a big thing, especially as like someone who edits videos, like just the freedom to feel like they give you, just full autonomy to like, all right, like just do your thing. And like, for the most part, it's worked. There's some times where like they like, yo, that wasn't it. But I mean, I'm glad that, I really enjoy that. So yeah.
But that's the beauty of being a creative is really putting yourself out there. It's really hard to put yourself out there in any form of media or art that you do. So, sometimes getting that feedback, it just reminds you, like everybody has their own opinion, everybody has their own vision, and it's really special that you're able to share that, no matter if somebody's like, I love it, or it could be better, or I hate it, it's like everybody has their own opinion, and I think that's what makes, the creative world more abundant, is that everybody has something to add and something to bring to the table, so it's like never ending.
For sure.
So yeah, that's really awesome.
Yeah, and there's something out there for everybody too. Like, what I like to say is like, when you first start out, it's a little bit people kind of get discouraged in whatever creative thing you're doing, but a lot of it is just finding your audience, and
Absolutely.
that's I think that's what a lot of people go through, especially in the early stages. But like you said, there's so many different like niches, so many different really just things that people are interested in. So I think anybody can like find their own little like niche that they can make content for and people will resonate with. So absolutely. Yeah. And then so besides that, I do the content during the week.
Super cool. And what about the weekends? What do you do on the weekends?
So I bartend maybe like sometimes. So I usually bartend Wednesdays.
Yeah.
Sometimes Fridays, and then Saturdays and Sundays. So sometimes I'm like all weekend, but sometimes they'll give me like a day off here and there, which is nice.
Cool.
But you asked about my routine. So let's just say on a Monday, if I'm not bartending, let's just say I wake up, I go to bed kind of late.
Yeah.
So
you're a night owl.
Yeah, I like to work. I do most of like a lot of work, like editing, like into like late night. So sometimes I go to bed. It's actually not that good, but like maybe 2:30 sometimes, 2:30. So by the time like you're almost up, like I'm kind of like barely asleep type thing, but but I wake up usually around like 9:30, 10.
Yeah.
First thing I do, what do I do? I guess sunlight's important for me. Like I try to get sunlight first thing I wake up. And then I'll just kind of do my bed for sure. I think that's big. I try to always do my bed in the mornings.
Yeah. I saw one of your other episodes where I really appreciated the way that you talked about how doing one task flows into everything else, and how starting off with like making your bed really sets you up for success. And like a quote that I live by all the time is, your future self is depending on you. Mm-hmm. And that's actually something that I feel like flows into that, is like you make your bed and you set yourself up for success for the rest of the day. So like I really think that's so cool. So I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off
that's
there,
dope.
But I love that mentality.
Yeah. So you set yourself up. What was it again? You set, or your future self is counting on you, is what you said?
Yeah, like your future self is depending on you.
Yeah, so. I like that, because a lot of it is like short-term sacrifice, which like it's not a sacrifice. It's kind of a small thing, making your bed, but in a way it's like it does take time out of your day to do it.
Yeah.
But it's like your future self, which it could be yourself at the end of the day, is going to thank you for like, is going to appreciate what you did earlier, because it just sets you up for just a better day overall.
Yeah, it sets the tone. It's like the standard of discipline that you keep within yourself really helps you in the long run.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, I do that, and then I try to eat a little meal before I go to the gym. I go to Get Fit. It's like right by my house. I don't know if you've heard of Get Fit. It's like a new gym. Yeah. It's pretty nice. Do that, and then I come home. I love making breakfast. So like every day I'll make like a breakfast. Like I love oatmeal. Like oatmeal is like my, I don't, like anybody that knows me knows like, yo, this dude always eats oatmeal. Like it's crazy. Like,
what's your recipe? Like brown sugar?
Oh, I can't give that out. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'm just kidding. I'm just messing with you. I actually want to open up like an oatmeal spot one day, because like I love oatmeal, I'm telling you. But
That's so
no,
cute.
so
That's awesome.
usually I'll do like some oats, of course. I'll do a little bit of protein powder, because you gotta get the protein.
What
in.
kind of protein powder though? Like a
It's a whey
one?
It's a cookies and cream.
Okay, gorgeous.
Yeah, and then I'll do I love peanut butter, so I'll do some peanut butter, some berries, some banana, and then yeah, man, it's not too crazy, but I love it.
You know your oatmeal
For sure. I'm a connoisseur for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Watch, I'm gonna like end up posting on my Cooking with Lucie channel like
that
my
same
recipe.
Exact thing. Yeah, you better call it the MVP recipe at that point. But yeah, so I do that, and then get ready, and then I love to work at a coffee shop. So right now my rotation is Viable.
Okay.
Viable is one of my favorites. The new coffee box. It's
gorgeous
on Zaragoza.
Yeah, I've never been, but I've seen it.
No, yeah, it's a vibe for sure. And then Global is one of them as well.
There's one. Where's Global?
It's on Pelicano and I think Zaragoza.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I live west, so the east side is like, I'm not very familiar with a lot of places on the east. But I see them, on social media. Upeople that I follow go there, so it's cool. Yeah.
For sure. So I work at the coffee shop, and then after that, ideally I like to like spend time with the fam for a little bit. So I'll come home, either like my mom's made dinner, and then on a good day my nephew and my sister are here, so like just chill, hang out, and then I'll go work again because I could work here, but I just feel like I'm more productive when I leave.
Absolutely.
So I usually go to Starbucks. That's open like the latest, so I'll go for like from 8 to like 11. And then I'll come back, edit some more, and then try to wind down. That's what I'm getting better at, is trying to wind down after working, because sometimes like it's not the best thing to go straight from your laptop to like just right to bed. Like,
no, 1000%. I agree. Sometimes I get home from work and I feel like that feeling, that energy like lingers with me, right? It's like residual energy from work. And I feel like I still haven't left work, even though I left like an hour and a half ago. And I'm still kind of in that mentality. So I'm working on that too.
Yeah, because you can take some of that stuff with you, whether it's like whatever you're thinking about, whatever the project is that you're working on.
1000%. It's a blessing and a curse, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Because it's like you sometimes take that stuff home with you, and then either you have like a really wonderful idea like while you're cleaning or cooking, right? You're like, oh my god, this is something I can totally add to my project. Or you're like, oh my gosh, like I need to like close this chapter right now and move on. But it's hard, but like I said, blessing and a curse.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, that's mainly my day. And then you were asking me how long I've been doing the podcast. So I started, my first episode was last December. I'm not sure what day, but for sure we're coming up on like a year from the first episode.
Incredible.
But I did it at my brother had a studio downtown on Texas, and that's where the first one was. And so the first episode was with me and my brother, and it was kind of like we were interviewing each other. And then I didn't release a second one till probably March, because I wanted to get a studio like set up here. So it took
your
me.
setup is beautiful.
I appreciate it.
You guys, like, it's stunning. Like, it's so gorgeous. Everything is like just so intentional, and you can tell that you really, really put a lot of passion into this. So.
Appreciate it.
Gorgeous setup.
Yeah, appreciate it. So it took me a while to get that set up, and then second episode was maybe like March of earlier this year, and then this is episode 19, approaching 20 next week. So
super cool.
yeah, so I've been enjoying it.
Yeah.
But so you grew up in El Paso. You're from El Paso.
Yeah, so I was actually born in California, in Santa Ana, which is like where Disneyland is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was born over there, and my family moved to El Paso when I was around like 5 or 6 years old. My dad was a diplomat for the Mexican consulate, so they moved him over here, and we stayed here. I mean, I'm so grateful that we're in a place that's so community oriented and so rich in culture. And sometimes, I really do wish I could be in California, but I think, we're in the right place at the right time, and I really love El Paso, even though I love California too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have any siblings?
I do.
Yeah.
I have 2 older sisters.
What's the age difference?
Yeah, so one is 2 years older than me. She's 26. I'm 24. She's 26. And then the other one is 33 now. So we have a 9-year difference. And me and my sister, who are 9 years apart, we are so close. And me and my sister, who are 2 years apart as well, but we all have very, very, very different personalities. Like my oldest sister, her name's Andrea. She's literally my best friend in the whole world. She's like very holistic, very healing, like very organic, granola vibes, like so cool.
Hell yeah.
She has like lots of tattoos, and she does a lot of cool, like just a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah.
She's a creative. She always has been. She's like everything I wish I could be in another life, right? But she's amazing. And my other sister, Isabella, she is 26, and she's an orchestra teacher. Both of them actually are professional musicians, like classically trained professional musicians.
Wow.
Incredible. Like the talent is insane. And my sister's an orchestra teacher, so she teaches at elementary schools. She does God's work, really, like working with kids.
My sister actually does the same, yeah.
No way!
Yeah.
Really?
What grade does your sister teach?
5th grade.
Fifth
grade.
Yeah.
And she has like clients on the side as well, and they're all age ranges. And it's so cool to see the way that music shapes people, But both of them are very, very talented individuals. My older sister is a little bit more extroverted. My sister in the middle is very, very introverted, very shy, so smart, literally so smart and so sweet. And then I'm kind of like the random one in the family.
How would they describe like you?
Oh my God, like drama, diva, crazy, like super girly, super loud. Not shy at all. And
have you always been kind of like that, like extroverted in a way?
Yeah. My whole life. Like, even though sometimes I try to like keep it cool, keep it chill, keep it simple, that's not me. Like I always say, like antes muerta que sencilla. Like I've always been very, very crazy my whole life. Like not crazy like crazy, but you know what I mean. Like I'm just very loud and bold and wild. And actually a big challenge I had in this year, kind of like going into this accounting firm, very, very serious space. Everyone around me was just so chill, and I just couldn't be chill. Yeah. So at first I was like, I have to like kind of turn off my personality. But now that I've gotten more comfortable there, I definitely have just been, I'm myself now more. And now that I'm myself, I feel like so many more opportunities have come to me naturally from that. So definitely be yourself all the time.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Everybody has their qualities and their attributes, and that's what makes them special. So embrace that.
Yeah, that opens up in itself. Like when you're just yourself, you open up opportunities that just wouldn't have been there. I feel like if you just need to embrace it at the end of the day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you ever feel like you felt at times that you had to kind of tone it down? Like at some points, did you feel in a way where you was like you couldn't be yourself in a way, or that you shouldn't have, or like have you ever gone through that where you had to feel like you had to tame it a little bit?
Yeah, and I always regret it.
Yeah.
I always regret it. So it's happened before to me in like friendships, in workplaces, and in all sorts of situations, and I'm always like, man, like I was so worried about what people were thinking about me that I was making myself uncomfortable and unhappy, And whenever I've just been entirely myself, that's when I get like the best feedback, the most love, the most intention out of it, really. Like every friendship that I've ever had to like tone it down or like not be myself, that friendship never lasts. But the friendships that I've always just been real, been myself, those are the friendships that I still have had since like 10 plus years ago. So definitely, sure. There's been times, but I always regret it. Yeah. 1000%.
No, I definitely, because we talked about on the last pod where it was with me and Cyrus.
Yeah, he's
so of course,
awesome.
yeah.
I love Cyrus.
Yeah, he's so dope.
Yeah.
But we were talking about he asked me if I ever had to separate myself from a certain crowd or certain people, and I had to think about it. But I was telling James, we're like,
James is awesome.
Yeah.
We just met right now, and he's amazing. So.
Yeah, shout out to Curry, man.
Shout out James.
Oh yeah, so he had asked me if I ever had to like kind of separate myself from a certain crowd or certain people, and I was telling him, I was like, I think thankfully, whether it was just like how like my brother and sister were, like how my parents, like I don't know, but I always felt like I just needed to like stay true to like who I was as a person. I mean, there's definitely certain times where I had to, like, I felt the need to like not like just change up certain things or like kind of not be myself in certain situations, you know?
Yeah.
But for the most part, I feel like I think you could attest to, like, I feel like I've always been pretty what's the word? Consistent throughout like the years, right? As far as like who I am. And so with that, you kind of keep the same people that like are actually supposed to be around you in a way where
Absolutely,
yeah. So you're talking about it like friends you've had for like years and years, like they accept you for who you are, right? And I think if you just kind of stay true to who you are, it's kind of just, it's going to attract the people that you actually want around you because they accept
you are the energy you attract. Like you're a mirror of every single person. Like if you find yourself getting along with a lot of people, it's because you're a person that's open to other energies, open to accepting other people. So I feel like it's, you know, it's how you feel about yourself too. I feel like a big factor in seeing people and seeing how other people react with you is just being open to that, opening your heart to all kinds of personalities and letting yours shine through as well. So we're all mirrors.
Yeah. Do you have friends that balance you out in a way where like,
yeah.
That's good too. Cause I feel like with Curry, like he's kind of like the more like the outgoing one where it's like, let's go, come on bro, stop being such like a homebody. Like I feel like I'm the more quiet one, but he kind of brings me out of my shell a little bit.
Yeah, we all need people like that. Like we need people who are going to challenge us. We need people that are going to like not force us out of our shell, but like really help us see our potential. And I feel like it's like the saying that, you know, you can tell who a person is based off of their friends, right? So it's like if you know, you see a crowd of good people, and it's always like you tend to see like a group of people as an inspiration as a whole, right? Like for example, I work with some girls at a salon called Desert Beauty. They're like my best friends in the whole world, and every single girl in that group is like so inspirational in their own way, right? But collectively it's like a dream team. It's like they all work so well together, they all have so much to bring to the table, and it's like being able to be involved in that also empowers me to show up as my best self, to show up to honor my highest self. And it's like whenever you're around a group of people that are all working towards being the best version of themselves, you also feel inspired to do the same thing. So like you just have to keep people around you that like you admire and that you appreciate and that inspire you to like just go above and beyond.
Yeah, that's real, because it's almost like it doesn't even have to be anything said that to you to do that. It's almost like you just feel the need to, in a way, you want to live up to that standard just because like you just see the worth of that, and you see like we talk about it all the time. Like we try to hold ourselves to like the highest standard. It's not even because like we're getting on each other about it. It's just like we want to be on the same wavelength. And when you're on the same wavelength with people, like it just feels good. You feel like almost like you can do anything at some But
when's your birthday?
December 21st.
Oh my god. Winter solstice. It's coming up.
Oh,
winter solstice.
Yeah.
It's the shortest day of the year.
Yeah, true. Yeah, it is. Yeah. So it's I think I'm like right on the edge. Like, are you into astrology?
Yeah. I mean, like here and there, right? I feel like there's connections that I make with people and their personalities. Don't tell me. You're not a Sagittarius. You're a Capricorn?
No, I'm the last day before Capricorn, so I am a Sagittarius. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Okay, I had it on the first try, but that's so crazy.
Apparently, you can kind of be a mix of like both in a way. Is that
Yeah,
true?
yeah. If you're right on the cusp, you can have like attributes of both. So it's really cool to see that.
Yeah. What about when's your birthday?
September 13th of 1999.
Okay, so that is
Virgo.
Virgo. Yeah.
Virgo.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So Virgos tend to be very, very extroverted, very loud, very, very mean is what they say. But
Really?
I wouldn't say I'm mean. I feel
No.
like.
The what?
Do you disagree?
He's a Scorpio.
No way.
Yeah.
Scorpios. I think I'm a Scorpio moon. Scorpio moon. So my emotions tend to come out more like a Scorpio's would. So yeah. Oh yeah. You said very emotional. So oh yeah. I always say like I feel very deeply. Like, do you feel very deeply? Like, if I don't even know. Like, I feel happiness very deeply. I feel sadness very deeply. Like, I indulge in my emotions a lot. And like, I swear, like, my brother-in-law always makes fun of me. He's like, Lucy could see a cloud in the sky and she starts crying about it. And he's so right. It's like I see something very beautiful and I romanticize really, really hard. So yeah. Are you the same?
It's because I heard you talk about this. Are you romantic or are you a
realist? Yes, exactly.
Yeah. And that was.
What are you? Are you a romantic or realist? I'm very obviously a romantic, so I'll let you take the stage on that one.
that I was thinking about that for a while.
Really? Yeah.
And I think, can you be both? Because
yeah.
so I'm the same way where like I think I romanticize a lot when it comes to how do I put this?
Like interactions?
I think but also when it comes to, I think you have to when you're creating.
Oh, 1000%.
So like anything that I see, like I can find the beauty in a lot of things, even if it's just like it could be the most randomest.
The aesthetics.
Yeah, but like I'll take like just anything, like whether it's like, I don't know, it's like a picture of my nephew or like I see him doing something or just anything. I feel those emotions very heavily, and it's kind of where I gain inspiration from. So another thing I was going to say is the fact that you feel things so like viscerally. I think that's one trait that a lot of creatives have. Because in a way, being like that comes from somewhere, like whatever you're kind of putting out into the world, you felt that emotion. And like I read a quote one time, is like, if you feel everything strongly, then create, because that's just a way that you're able to kind of express that and not really because if you hold it all in, it's gonna maybe have a negative impact on you. So when I read that, I was like, because I definitely feel things like very very viscerally, whether it's like just certain events or certain things. I could listen to a song and like it can just hit like very hard and like but I think I'm both, but I'm a realist when it comes to like, what would you say, bro? Because in a way it's like I look at things very logically sometimes, almost to where like,
are you kind of harsh like when it comes to like the reality of things? Like, are you like, it is what it is? In a way, are you kind of like, well, like, oh, I empathize with them really hard? Or
no,
like,
'cause I'm very empathetic, but I'm very like, this is what it is. So we you kind of strafe the line, I don't know. Because like when it comes to certain things we talk about, he's very like spiritual, like very spiritual. Beautiful. And I'm not gonna say I'm not, because I definitely am in some ways. However, there's certain things I look at where I tend to take a more logical approach to things. You could say logical. But I think I would say I'm both.
Okay. I love that.
And so you'd say you're definitely on the romantic side of
1000%.
Yeah.
1000%. I am a realist though whenever it comes to like the logic of things. Like, I don't make a lot of excuses for people or for myself. Like, I feel like, sometimes things happen and I'm not like, ay, pobrecito or pobrecita. Like, I'm like, you know what? You have the recipe to everything that you have to do to make your success happen or to make things happen. So it's like kind of one of those things, like, if you wanted to do something, you would. If they wanted to do something, they would. Like, communication's always open. It's not hard to ask questions. The worst thing somebody could do is say no to you. So I feel like if something happens and it's kind of like, I don't know, sometimes I'm just like, well, they knew exactly what they had to do to make it happen and they did make it happen.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. But then at the same time, I'm like, the cloud in the sky, you know. So it's hard.
No, for sure. And honestly, on your feed, like you could on your Instagram, like you could see it's so like aesthetically like it's like you. I don't know if you do it on purpose, but it's very well like composed. Just everything. Yeah, it's really dope.
Yeah. Thank you so much. That means a lot.
Yeah,
I feel like I used to really care like back in the Tumblr days, but now I just kind of post like, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. But now I'm just kind of like, you know, free flowing, just sharing my life in a more organic manner. And I love it. I mean, it's really cool to share, you know, like, for example, photo dumps becoming more popular. I think that's so cool. Have you guys ever made one before?
Oh, I love dumps.
Yeah, like they're just like, they're so fun. It's like you get to really see like little elements of people's lives, you know, like people used to post like very face-tuned photos of themselves and like very thought out captions, and now it's just like life lately, and it's like, I don't know, like dinner with your friends and a picture of you and your mom, and like it's real now.
That's why I like it, because it's like you kind of get opportunity to share different aspects of your life, and it's not so much like the highlights. And I posted one picture, it was a while back, on my dump, where it was like I spilled a protein shake like all over my my bedside. And like I was upset, but I thought it was like the funniest thing ever. But that's what my life is like. I just got back from the gym, I was drinking like a protein shake, and like it was just completely like it was a terrible accident. But I think the caption was the caption was "Don't cry over spilled protein shakes," and I thought that was fire, just to be honest. But
that's so good.
But yeah, I love dumps for sure.
I love that. No, there's like beauty in everything, really.
For sure.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah, and so I have this question actually. Sagittarius, what's like some of those like characteristics that you would say?
Sagittarius. So my best friend of all of college is Sagittarius, and he was just such a prepared person, like very clean, very intentional, very organized. So I really do appreciate Sagittarius. It's like they know what they're doing. Like you guys know what you're doing, and you can tell like by your setup, by the way that you approach me, like, hey, come on my podcast. Like you just know what you're doing, and I really do appreciate Sagittarius, is because you guys are like business. So I really love Sagittarius.
That's dope.
Yeah, they're great. Yeah. What kind of music do you listen to? Because I know earlier you mentioned something about music. So
I would say mainly. Oh, Spotify Rap just came out, so this is perfect.
Oh my god, I hated my Wrapped. I hated
Did you?
it. Yes, and I'm so happy to hear that you have Spotify. Are you a Spotify person?
Nah.
What? Dang.
Yeah, I've been trying to get him on the
Spotify girl forever and ever. You can tell like what kind of person a person is based off of Apple Music or Spotify, right? Okay, like you can kind of tell. Like you can kind of tell. Like yeah. So what was your Spotify Wrapped like?
Oh, so it might come as a surprise. I love like for sure rap, but like bro, my number one artist was NBA like YoungBoy. Yeah, isn't that crazy? I feel like I don't give off NBA YoungBoy vibes though.
Not at all.
But I don't know his
What was your number one song or what?
My number one song was actually it's called "Set Me Free" by Rilo Rodriguez. Yeah. So it's a lot of hip hop, but I listen to everything. Like I really do. I could listen to like certain symphonies, classical music. Like
love classical music. Does it make you cry?
See, you know what? Actually. It's crazy because I don't cry. I feel like I don't cry.
I could cry right now.
I feel like I don't really cry, bro. But for some reason, when I hear like a certain like it could be, most of the time it's like a classical song. I just love cinematic music. So anything that's like cinematic, and it just really resonates with me sometimes. So like anytime I'm making a video that has like a little bit more like symphony vibes or classical vibes, like for sure I get a little like, damn, this is emotional for some reason. But
you know what I love that you do? You put songs over like your podcast, right? Like a little snippet, and it'll be like a song, and then at the end it'll like fade into the song, and I'm like, okay, all right, okay. Like it just works so well. And I really appreciate like your song choices and the way that you just make it flow into the podcast. I don't know. It's so cool.
See that. I appreciate that though, because it does definitely take some work. Like, but no, yeah. So I try, especially with that, I try to just match whatever vibe that whatever we're talking about is like. I just want to make sure it's like kind of going along with with what's being talked about.
Okay.
But anyways, yeah. So it was what NBA. I think it
Uh-huh.
was Set Me Free, and then it was an NBA YoungBoy song,
Okay.
and then
I don't know any of his songs, but
No?
like I can imagine like the vibe.
see. So he has very like
Yeah.
it's hood shit for sure.
Cool.
But he has very like what would you say? He definitely gives off some sad boy vibes for sure.
Oh,
Yeah, but he's
basketball songs.
in a way, yeah, it's like
Well, because at NBA, no, isn't that what NBA stands for? I don't know, guys. I don't know.
no.
For my job, they put me in charge of March Madness, and I was like, "This crazy month or what?" And I went
She
to my
said it's
computer,
crazy month.
and I was like,
What's March
March
Madness?"
Madness? Question mark? And I was like, basketball. I was like, "Are you sure you want to put me in charge of that?"
That's
So,
hilarious.
Yeah, I
bro.
went to my boss and I was like, "Help!" And he was like, "Yeah, no, I had no idea what I was doing." They're like, "We have to make a what is it? The one with the you connect all the teams."
The brackets.
I was gonna say a draft. Yeah, that. He's like, "Yeah, we're gonna make the brackets," and I was like, "Get the fuck." But when they put me in charge of that, I was like, wrong girl, but I'll do it. I bought like plates that were like basketball themed, basketball balloons, and
Yeah.
like we had a party at the firm. But like, when it comes to sports like that, I don't know what
No,
I'm talking about. Like
yeah.
that's how I was like, basketball.
So NBA, yeah, NBA stands for it's a good guess. NBA stands for Never Broke Again.
Okay.
So
Period.
yeah, slay, right?
Slay.
Yeah, so NBA, Peso Pluma was up there.
Oh, I love Peso Pluma
Yeah,
so much.
I think my third plate song, I think was PRC.
Okay.
That's one of my favorite songs for sure.
Yeah.
But
I
yeah,
love him. I
Yeah.
love Peso Pluma so
yeah.
much.
Did you go see him?
I did. Yeah,
Really?
I did see him.
Yeah, how was that?
Yeah, it was amazing. He's beautiful. Like, and at the end, he did a little heart. Like, he did a little heart, and then he like blew a kiss. I will never forget that.
Yeah.
I will never forget that. Like, I swear that's like the day he stole my heart, because like I was always like a fan of him, but
Yeah.
after I saw him, I just grew like such a great appreciation for him. And like this year, like I don't know what happened to me, but like I turned into like buchona, belicona. Like I started listening to all kind of like corridos. Like
Yeah.
all I listen to now is like Junior H and Peso Pluma.
Yo.
That's it. And I saw Junior H like what, in October? Oh my god.
Did he come here?
Yes, he came here.
Bro, where were we? What the heck?
No, I was over there dancing to El Azul, like
Yo.
like going crazy.
I like Vamos para Arriba. That's one of my favorite
Okay.
songs.
Yeah.
What's your favorite song from Peso?
Peso Pluma. He has that song with Bizarrap.
Yo, yeah, that song.
That song is so
E-
good.
Yeah. No, I like that
Like,
song.
you want to sing it?
Yeah.
A little duet.
I was actually doing karaoke yesterday, surprisingly. But
Really?
Yeah.
What was your karaoke song?
I did a few. So I did. I was all over the place. So I did.
Okay.
Just Hold On, We're Going Home.
Okay, love the chill vibe.
I did. What's that song by Weezer? Say It Ain't So by
Okay.
Weezer. Okay, and then
Classic.
All Me by Drake. That was
Okay.
probably my favorite one. Yeah.
Cool.
But do you like karaoke? You do karaoke?
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
You have a go-to song?
I did. The last song I did karaoke to was Yonaguni by Bad Bunny.
Okay.
And I have a video of that one. It's not cute, but yeah, I would say I really like to sing in Spanish. So really any song in
So
Spanish.
was Spanish your first language?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and in like this year, I feel especially most of the music I listen to is in Spanish. Like, I swear my rotation is Lana Del Rey, Junior H, Peso Pluma, Ivan Cornejo, and then like all over again. Like,
Yeah.
if I'm like, oh, let me change it up, let me change up the vibe, I go, back and forth. But
Yeah.
lots of Spanish.
Yeah, that's so dope.
Yeah.
Do you talk a lot of Spanish still? Like to
I do. Yeah. I mainly talk in Spanish, obviously, to my family, to my mom, and to my friends too. I speak a lot of Spanish at work. Sometimes I'll do like little vlogs and stuff, and I'll make them in Spanish.
Yeah.
And I love speaking Spanish. I really
Yeah.
do. Do you speak Spanish?
Yes, I would say yeah. But it's not it wasn't my first language,
Okay.
and I understand most of it. So I'm one of those people. I feel like it's very common in El Paso where you understand it, you speak a little bit, but it's not like super fluent.
Yeah, it's not your strength, but it's
Yeah.
okay. I feel like if you start, I just told my best friend this too, because she's like, I feel like my Spanish isn't on point like it should be. And I was like, you just need to start listening to a lot of music in Spanish.
Yeah.
And I promise you, it will bring your confidence in speaking Spanish so much so much higher.
Yeah, that makes sense. I feel like I've gotten better since I started listening to like Paso and all those people. Yeah,
absolutely. Like, what's your? Oh, you already said your favorite song by Paso Pluma, but who else was in your Spotify Wrapped?
Let's just look right now. I know.
I'm gonna open.
I want to see yours too.
I'm gonna be so honest with you. I don't think the Spotify Wrapped was
accurate.
Do you think so?
Yeah, for
you
sure.
Do?
Yeah, I think mine was. So
mine was.
1 was NBA YoungBoy, Drake. 3 was Peso Pluma. 4 was Big X a Plug.
Who's that?
We have to show you some. I have to show you some songs right now. And then, have you heard of that Mexican OT?
No.
No. Okay.
Is that my phone?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. No. Wow. It's because with these headphones on, like, you really don't, like, I feel like I can't really hear much
besides like us.
Outside of like this realm, but whoa, sorry about that. Mine was not accurate, and I was very disappointed.
What makes you say it wasn't accurate?
So, well, obviously my first artist, like 1000%, Lana, of course. Have you ever heard her song "Let the Light In"?
I'm gonna be honest, I've only heard like maybe 1 or 2 songs by Lana.
I'm gonna put you on to "Let the Light In" because that is the song of all songs. But that was my top song of 2023. My second artist was Bad Bunny, which I used to be a huge Bad Bunny girl, but as soon as I discovered Peso Pluma, I feel like my love for Bad Bunny just kind of went to the side, and I focused more on Peso Pluma.
I think that's cool. I think that happened to a lot of people. Yeah.
So he was on my number 2, which is very strange because I didn't really listen to him a lot this year.
Not even earlier this year, like you weren't. No.
Yeah, no. Like as soon as I discovered Peso Pluma, I just kind of started focusing on that, and I feel like after Un Verano Sin Ti, I don't know, it had its run, it had its moment, but it just wasn't.
Yeah, it wasn't
like
the same.
My top listened album, but SZA was number 3, which I used to be like the biggest fan of SZA when I was like 14. But with her new album, I felt like it was very negative. And I feel like the things that you listen to and the things that you surround yourself with, they affect you. Like I don't really listen to like a lot of like sad or negative music because I feel like it definitely does like infiltrate your brain in some kind of way. Like the media that you're consuming, the music that you're listening to by choice, like that is going to affect you. So when I was listening to her newest album last year when it came out, I was like, I don't really resonate with any of this.
And in what way was it like negative? Is it kind of like
it's like just like very sad, very hateful, like very like she has that song called Blind, and she has Kill Bill where she's talking about like killing her ex, and I'm just like, I'm sorry, but like I can't relate to that. I don't know if like anyone else can necessarily relate to that, but I don't hate like that. Whenever I would hear that song, I'd always skip it. And then when I got my Spotify Wrapped 2 days before, I was on my way to work and I had my music on shuffle, and sure enough, Kill Bill came on, and I said, ew, I hate this song. And I changed it, and guess what number it was on my most listened to songs?
Number 3.
Number 4.
Wow.
Number 4. And I couldn't believe
Devastating.
it. I was like, there's no way. So pretty crazy. But it was Lana Del Rey, Bad Bunny, SZA, Orion Sun, which I don't know if you guys know who Orion Sun is.
I don't think you know who Orion Sun is. No.
Orion Sun's like indie alternative. She's a vibe. I saw her on my birthday. Life changing. Literally, I cried my eyes out the whole concert. But she was my number 4, and Kali Uchis was number 5.
I've heard of Kali Uchis. I really haven't heard her music, but I heard she's really good. Yeah. I think she was at ACL, maybe. I don't know.
She canceled, actually.
Oh, did she?
She canceled. And I bought tickets to her show for this year, for September, but I ended up really like so sick. Was it September or October? I don't remember. But this year I bought tickets for me and my best friend to go see her, and she went without me because I was really sick. Yeah. But she had a great time.
That's good.
I've seen her once before at Neon Desert in 2018.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was pretty cool.
That's interesting because you say you don't listen to like sad, like you try not to listen to like sad music. In a way, I listen to a lot of like, not all the time, but for sure I do. But
sad music.
Yeah.
Or Kali Uchis.
No, sad music. I will start listening to Kali though.
Yeah, she's great.
But yeah, in a way I do, but it probably does influence me, but in a like, I don't know, I've always seen like I think there's beauty in a lot of things, and like I said, I say beauty just because that's a word. Like, even if it's a little sad, I kind of just it resonates with me. So I don't
Yeah.
know, maybe it does influence me, but I also get a lot of inspiration from it in a way.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think, but I can definitely see how like if you listen to certain things, it can maybe get you in the certain mindset. But
Yeah.
yeah, I definitely feel that for sure.
Yeah, it's not like, obviously, like, if a song says, like, you're gonna rob a bank, it's not like you're gonna go do it,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But, like, I just feel like I'm very protective of my energy or, like, the things I say. Like, I don't know if you ever do this, but, like, I don't like to say I'm doing something or planning on doing something until it's done, or, like, sharing something with the world until it already happened. Because I don't know if you believe in, like, mal de ojo, like evil eye. Like, have you ever seen people wearing, like, the bracelets?
Is that what that
eyes?
is?
Yeah, so it's, like, supposed to, like, repel any bad energy that's being sent to you. So it returns it to the sender. So, like, let's say you post on your social media, like, I'm going to be, at doing this podcast, all this stuff. Let's say somebody who doesn't like me has me on social media, and they're like, oh my God, I hope it goes so bad for her, right? And so some people just don't have your best interest at heart. And it hurts, right, to think that, because it's like, I can't think of somebody right off the bat that I'd be like, I want them to fail, right, ever. But some people just don't like people, and they're not real with, like, who they surround themselves with. And sometimes they'll surround themselves with people that they don't feel great towards. So I feel like,
What do you think that comes from?
jealousy, opportunity, lack of confidence. I think it comes from a lot of things, It's like, I feel like if you are so focused on yourself and you're working so hard on yourself and the things that are making you grow, you won't ever notice what other people are doing when other people mess up, other people's opportunities, and, like, hoping that they don't go well for them. But people who don't have a lot going on, or who aren't very secure in themselves or what they're doing, they could put that bad energy of, like, wanting to succeed on people who are doing the things that they wish they were doing. And they could do them, right? Because collaboration happens at the top. Competition happens at the bottom. So it's like, if you are so set in yourself, you are able to collaborate with people who are doing the same thing as you, and you're able to collaborate with people who are doing things that you want to do. So, like, in order to grow, you have to surround yourself with people who are doing the same or better than you, because there's no way that you could keep yourself in a circle that's not progressing, that's not motivating each other. It's like I said earlier, it's like I surround myself with, like, the girls at the salon that are all really, really wonderful people that bring so much to the table, and it also motivates me to, like, go a little harder and try my best, So yeah, I definitely do believe in evil eye and people sending you bad energy and just not saying things. Like, for example, the whole point of this whole rant I just had was not saying things like, oh, today's gonna suck, right? Because you're speaking that into existence. So you have to think, like, even if you're going to have a really, really hard day emotionally, work-wise, you have to say, you know what? Today is going to be a long day. It might be challenging, but there's nothing I haven't ever been able to overcome. So I'm going to take this with grace, with love, and today's going to be a good day. Yeah.
Yeah, that's everything you said there was, like, spot on for sure. Because I was thinking about, like, what you said about the people that kind of have something to say that are negative about certain things. Two things. It's like, I always hear this, like, hurt people.
Absolutely.
So they, in a way, they kind of have something, whatever it is going on in their lives, where they feel the need to just kind of, take the time out of their day to, like, put that out into the world. Like, that's insane to me, because that actually takes effort. Like, we were talking about it. So, and I'm not going to, like, say exactly what happened, but I got my first, like, I'm sure it's happened to everybody, but request DM of, like, a hate.
Oh my God.
Like, it was it was blatant. Like, and so I was like, and in a way I was kind of like, I wasn't proud of it, but in a way I was like, oh shit, like, damn, I was not expecting it. But it made me think, like, damn, like, I wasn't even upset. It was just like, he really, like,
do you know who it was? Or
I have no idea.
It was a private account.
Yeah,
right?
as always,
like a fake account.
yeah.
Of course. Of course.
Yeah. Well, yeah, definitely not gonna say, but yeah, it was a blatant, like, just like, take time out of your day. And I was thinking about it, I was like, damn, like, that's crazy how someone, like, really just took their time and just to put that out there. And it was like, because I would never think to even, like, do something like that. So it makes me think, like, there has to be something going on within their head to where like it's just they feel the need to actually do that. But
that's insane. Like,
yeah.
Sometimes I don't even have time to text my family or friends back. I would never take the time out of my day to like message a creator who's like really trying hard to do something and leave them hate.
Yeah.
But you know what? It comes from a place of even admiration. You know, sometimes people don't know how to show their admiration. And if there was something wrong that you were doing, there's a way to gracefully address that. Like if you were to be doing something really weird or wrong on your podcast, I would say like, hey, like, because I care for you and because I've been on this podcast before and, you know, I admire you as a creative and as a person and as a friend, you should maybe take a different direction because it could hurt you or you're hurting people. And there's ways to tell people if they're going down the wrong path. And there's also ways, you know, to show that you aren't fond of people. But I think if that's the case, like, all you have to do is block, delete, and out of sight, out of mind. If someone's bothering you that bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
I'm sorry that happened to you, though. You
Oh,
don't
no.
deserve
It's,
that.
yeah, no, it was like, in a way, he actually had a point. He did. And I'm gonna say what it is. He might, but I'm not gonna say who it was. But it was talking about you say like all the time, and like you read some books. So it was like
he just gifted me like 2 books. Okay, this guy reads. He reads. So
I definitely try, but
crazy.
And it's true. Like it's actually something I've been trying to work on.
Yeah.
So in a way, I was like, yeah, that's true. But it's like there's, like you said, there's definitely ways to kind of
say it nicely. Yeah, criticism is always accepted, right? As long as it's constructive and as long as it's given with grace. Like, if there's anything that I'm ever doing that's like annoying or wrong or weird, it's like, by all means, tell me, but don't be mean about it. Like, people have emotions. Like, we're creatives. We feel, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry that happened.
Oh no, it's good. It's honestly, it's from what I understand, it's gonna happen. Like it's definitely
always.
And but it's all about really just honestly, like you can't pay attention to that stuff. Honestly, at the end of the day. But yeah, how's everything? You good?
Yeah, I'm great. Living the dream.
Okay.
So happy to be here.
Yeah. How's is it still recording? We're good. Battery's good. Okay. All right, we're good. So you're 23?
24.
24. Okay.
So old.
Do you think that's not good?
How old are you?
I'm gonna be 24 in this
in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
In 3 weeks.
And
crazy.
1999. Yeah.
Slay.
Yeah. So yeah. Well, I mean, we're kind of getting up there, but in a way, we're still young.
We're still young.
Yeah. But when you look back on like your life, is there a specific maybe it can be a period of time, or maybe it can be one event that kind of it kind of provided you with definitely an obstacle, a hurdle, or maybe something that you just had to overcome, whether it was mentally, physically. Is there something that comes to mind when you think about that?
Absolutely, yeah. So when I was around 11 years old, my dad got diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, and I lost him just a few months later. So my dad passed away when I was very, very young, you know, like right when I was going into 6th grade. So that was just a very big challenge because obviously, you know, like you're growing up with like these natural growing pains of like, you know, letting go of your childhood, entering a new chapter. But then on top of that, losing a parent was so severely intense, you know, especially at such a young age. But I think that definitely set the tone for how I viewed life. And it's not about what happens to you, but how you react to it. You know, it's like life doesn't happen to you, it happens for you. So it's like something so severe like that, it showed me it's like either I can continue on as somebody who appreciates life, appreciates the people around me, really loves the people around me all the time. Like either I can do that, or I can go down a path of like, you know, hatred and hating life and you know, like being mad at God for like letting something so terrible happen, because it really was really terrible to see that happen and unfold. And it really helped me in my development of how to, I guess, deal with pain and how to heal my own trauma too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that.
No, that's okay. Yeah. But it's just advice to people, you know, if you lose somebody that you really love, it's like it should show you to just love harder, love the people around you harder, because it's like death is really more for the living right? Because it's like you have to accept that. You know, you have to accept when you lose somebody. And it really should teach you to love harder, to appreciate more, and to just pay more attention and appreciate life, because we never know how much longer we have, you know, and it's really scary to think of that. But it's also very beautiful, because it's like you never know which sunset is going to be your last. You never know when the last time you're going to see somebody that you really love is. So it's like, treat every interaction, every sunset, every moment like your last. So yeah, it definitely taught me, I think, to be a romantic and really just love the life I'm living and treat every moment with all the love and all the intention.
For sure. That, I mean, yeah, because I mean, I had someone, my friend Eddie, he lost his brother. He was on the podcast maybe 2-3 weeks ago, but yeah, his older brother, and he was actually around the same age. He was 12 years old, I think. And it was his older brother, and that's a very vulnerable time, you know. So it's like, I'm sure it was like, he just talked about how the it's in a way it brought his family like so much closer.
Yeah.
Which in a way it's like, yeah, it's definitely a terrible, unfortunate thing, but it really, like you said, it makes you appreciate even more like the days that you have with like the people that are here.
Absolutely.
And but yeah, I mean, and I'm sure it's made you, I mean, just a much stronger person because of it, you know. And
it makes me like realize, like, we take life really so serious. Like, you know, it's like we get hurt so easy, or we're so quick to judge or to be mean to people sometimes. And it's like things like that, like, they really soften me up. Like, I like to treat everybody with as much kindness. And sometimes people are like, oh, you're too nice, like, you're too nice, it's not real. And I'm like, no, it's like I just have always had this standard of treating people with a lot of kindness, because you never know what anyone's going through, you know. It's like, to the people that showed me a lot of kindness, both in that time and times where I've had my lows and my highs, like, you remember those people, and those people stick with you. So it teaches you to be more vulnerable. It really does. And it is a blessing to be able to feel so deeply, and to be able to turn that pain into something beautiful, into a lesson that's actually going to carry on with you for the rest of your life, you know. So yeah, it is hard, but I'm really glad that things have healed the way that they have, you know.
For sure.
Yeah.
Do you think about purpose? Like, what your purpose is? Like, are you a deep thinker in that way? Like, do you think yeah. So what have you, because in a way I feel like there's different ways to look at it. Like, there's some people that are just living, and they're like, they kind of just go through life, and they're kind of, I mean, very much in the present moment. And some people don't really, but I myself, like, I kind of think to myself, like, what am I actually,
what are you doing?
Yeah. Like, so what do you think your purpose is, Lucie?
So I think, well, my mom and I have the same name. Me, my mom, my grandma. My name is actually Luz, so like light. So I always think, like, in any situation, I hope and pray to be the light to somebody. And I always try to see myself as a light as well. Like how I said, I'm always very like bright and in your face and crazy. I think I have to a way, like, live up to my name, and I think I do for the most part. I would say that I do. But yeah, I would say is to just be a positive entity in people's lives, and to be able to like light the way for myself and others. So I've always seen myself like a very natural leader. So I think that also has a lot to do with it too. So just to be a light in the world, right? To myself, for others, maybe a few people, hopefully maybe one day a lot of people, but I
think that's a great, like, in a way, that's kind of what all that you can hope for in life really is. I think sometimes we can be very, I know I've been like this in the past, where I can be, I don't think I've ever been a selfish person, but I am very focused on my goals and trying to.
Yeah. What would you say your purpose is?
In a way, I don't know. There's some like that's, and I think about it a lot, but I really think it's I would say it's around the same thing. Like, I just wanna be like an inspiration to someone that maybe is like in a tough position, or and more lately I would say I've been really trying my best to like just give without even like, because I think I've always been a very like kind, empathetic person, but sometimes in a way people who kind of give all the time, and sometimes it's not the best feeling when somebody doesn't reciprocate it. But more than anything, I kind of been trying to accept like that's who I am.
Absolutely.
And so I'm going to do that no matter what. So might as well just go all in on that and just really be just an inspiration to someone that's either like younger than me, or what I always think about is like, you want to inspire the people around you, like and the same thing, you want to be a light for the people around you, because I mean, everybody's going through something, and any interaction you can have with someone and you are just being yourself and you are positive and you're just giving off that energy, like that can change someone's life.
Absolutely.
Like there's certain instances of what I've heard of like just people having an interaction where they were feeling super down and they had one interaction with someone where it completely like changed their life, you know? And I just trying to be like very cognizant of that and the energy I bring, and I really just want to be a positive impact on someone. Yeah.
And I always say too is like, if you ever feel some way towards someone, whether positive, negative, compliment, stranger, anyone, say it. Right? Well, obviously, like if it's negative to a stranger, like don't say it, but like right, unless it's gonna be constructive, like hey, you know, be careful or something, right? But if there's something, like if you see somebody walking down the street and you want to be like, wow, you are so beautiful, like have a beautiful day, you know, like that goes so far. It's it's crazy. And obviously you have to be aware of the energy that you're bringing, because you know, sometimes like I'll be walking downtown and someone will say something crazy and they'll yell it at me and I get so scared. But then there's other times, like the other day I was like having the worst day. I was like just so rushed, so crazy, and like I was opening the door from like the post office walking out, and this guy goes, wow, I felt like I just walked into a magazine cover, because my hair was like blowing in the wind. And in that moment, I obviously didn't feel like pretty or like attractive or anything. But he was like, I just feel like I walked into a magazine, and I was like,
what a compliment.
Like not even creepy at all, just like so, just you know, like just like being dope. So sweet. So it's like, if you ever feel a way towards somebody, if you want to tell somebody like that you like their outfit, that you like their hair, that you like their eyes, like just say it, you know what I mean? And it doesn't even have to be in like a flirty way, but it's like you see people and like, have you ever like been out in public and you're like staring at someone and you're just like, oh my God, like whether it's like a guy or a girl, and you're just like, wow. Like I catch myself staring sometimes too, like in just admiration of like, whoa, like I want my outfit to look the way that it looks on her, or like how did she do her hair, or like if I see a guy and I'm like, whoa, like I love the way that he dresses, I love the way that he is presenting himself to the world, like that's so cool. You know, say it, say something.
It
means
for sure.
a lot.
And like I said, I think that's something I'm really trying to like, because like I said, I think I've always been like a very kind person, but I just want to make it more like intentional and be like, because it does go a long way. And the thing is, some people aren't even used to it. Like you say to someone, like you say that to someone, they're like, what the hell just happened?
Or they're like, no. Accept the love that you think that you deserve. Always accept a compliment. Always accept a compliment, right? Like if somebody's like, wow, you're so handsome, like you're so talented, you shouldn't be like, no, I'm not. Don't block your blessings. You know, it's like, speak those things into existence, even if it's not something that you yourself see or perceive, or you have imposter syndrome and you don't feel a certain way. Like, remember how earlier I was like, I don't even know what I look like right now. Like, it's like, I see myself every day, but it's like, you know, it's like, you have to extend those compliments. You have to extend that love, because it does mean something to people.
For sure. And what I always think about is like, we have more impact on so many people than, like, we have such an impact on people that we don't even realize. So you're one person, but one interaction or the energy that you bring into something, that is going to translate to another person if they receive it, and then that person is going to like pick up on that, and we're all like we talked about, we're all connected in a way. So like you're basically like your energy and like we're all part of a network, and if
we're all mirrors.
For sure.
Yeah,
and if you, whatever energy you're giving off, it's gonna travel to like places you wouldn't even realize, and distances you wouldn't even realize. So like one thing I always think about, like I want to be that person that walks into a room and like you just feel like, wow, like I love the energy, like I love the whatever it is. It's like I just feel
like the charisma, the magnetism.
I just feel good around this person. This person makes me feel good about myself, and like that's something that I've always like strived towards. Like
you're doing a great job. Like
I
felt so comfortable from like, this is our first time ever meeting too.
Yeah.
So like I felt so comfortable, so safe. Like right off the bat, you could tell when somebody is like, I was like, we're like on the same wavelength. Like you can just feel like the magnetism, the charisma. Like I said, like you are just somebody who's very confident and like set in your intentions, and that reflects so much like through your social media, through your podcast, like, and it's very easy to talk to somebody like you. So you're doing a great job. And it's like,
I appreciate it.
Sometimes we just don't see ourselves for who we really are because we're so used to ourselves, right? But it's like you meet somebody new, or like you interact with somebody and they're like, oh my god, like you're so cool, and you're like, really? Thanks.
Yeah, no, for sure.
It's crazy. So I definitely do see that with you.
I appreciate it. I mean, I'm on this, I can say the same thing. Like walked in here, like just
like we already knew each other.
Yeah,
it was awesome.
For sure. Yeah, that's dope.
Super cool.
Heck yeah.
It's really good, and it's like I said, always spread love because it'll come back to you tenfold. And like what you were saying earlier about like giving and giving and giving and feeling like you're not receiving, sometimes it will come back to you tenfold in ways that you would never expect. So like even if like you're watching this and you're thinking like, well, I always compliment people and they never compliment me, or I'm always giving and I'm never getting back, it's like it will come to you in one way or the other. Obviously like don't do things with the expectation of getting back, but definitely like don't let your love ever be stopped by the lack of someone else's.
For sure.
Yeah.
And that's something I was thinking about like the other day, is like I think I had made a post, or I posted on my story, but it was like, don't ever change like the person you are because of, it had to do with giving, where it's like, because some people actually really need that from you. Like some people are some people that you do that for, they might not receive it, or they might not reciprocate it. They might not appreciate it the way maybe you would hope for, but you're going to come across people that will, and that really will appreciate you for that and for who you are. So that's just some message, like just be who you are, especially if you're a giving person. Like it's like you said, it's going to come back like tenfold for sure. Yeah. And also something to keep in mind too is like when you're giving, and it's not, you feel like maybe you're not receiving that like love per se. Something to keep in perspective is like you're receiving love from so many different areas that you don't think about, like your mom, for example. Like something that like we just take so for granted, where it's like, yo, my mom just like, she made me dinner, she asked me how my day was, and like, and this person maybe didn't like wasn't reciprocating like that love to me, but like my mom and my sister, they're over here, and my nephew's like, let's play Nino, like just like shit like that, like where it's like
you're so loved, like we don't even realize how loved we are, how appreciated we are, like, and it's something that we really 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 do take for granted, you know. It's like we have, you know, it's like in a relationship, for example, like you might feel like your partner doesn't appreciate you, and you're just like so sad because like this person doesn't text you good morning, right? But it's like silly things like that, right, that get to us. But then on the other hand, it's like your mom making dinner, and like your family, like your coworkers like loving you, your community supporting you, like friends supporting you no matter what. And it's like, you know, it's like we forget to pay attention to those aspects of our lives that we're so used to. Like we're so accommodated in, you know, like reminding ourselves, or like not reminding ourselves that like that is not something that everybody has, you know. And it's like you sometimes, like if you're giving and giving and giving, maybe redirect where you're giving. Like something that somebody actually told me recently was, go where you're celebrated, not where you're tolerated.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
So it's like, whether that's Lucie
with the gems.
whether that's like your friendships, your relationships, your work, if there's somebody who's not hyping you up. Like, honestly, like, there's so much great to say about like you, and I just met you guys, right? And it's like, if there's somebody in your life who doesn't see how special you are and doesn't remind you to, I think words of affirmation, even if it's not like your top, love language, it's like just reminding people like, hey, you're doing great. Or even just like letting your friend know like, hey dude, like, I love you, thinking about you, I hope you're having a great day. Like, that goes a very long way, so it's like, remember to appreciate the people around you, and like, don't be afraid to show love. Like, I love very, very intensely, right? Like, I'm always like I love you, say it back, right? But like
say it back, like, now.
But like, if you communicate and somebody is like weird about that, or somebody's like not reciprocating that energy towards you, they're just not your people. And like, don't feel discouraged. Like, the people that are meant for you will be for you, and the energy that's meant for you will come to you. Like, you won't have to fight it, you won't have to force it, you won't have to ask for the things that you want or need. Obviously, right, in some times, like, you have to communicate to be on the same page with certain people, but like, really, love should flow to you easy if you're loving in the right place.
Yeah. Lucie with the gems, bro.
Thank you.
I know, Curry, you felt that one on your way up. Go where you're appreciated, not where you're tolerated.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
Like, instead of somebody be like, oh, like, yeah, Diego's cool, whatever, right? You should be like, what? Diego's so cool. Like, he's so awesome. Sure. Like, he gave me this wonderful opportunity to be on his show. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, it sucks, It's like, we should never downplay the people around us, because everybody has something to offer. Like, and that's what's so special. It's like, everybody has their spark, everybody has their specialty, right? And it's like, you should exemplify that in every moment that you can. It's like, everybody wants to feel appreciated and really, feel it, a genuine appreciation. So it's like, if you can, like, tell the people around them that you appreciate them. It doesn't take a lot. But mean it.
Hey, I appreciate you, Curry. I really do, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. How's the battery? We good? It's all good. We're still recording now. Let me just change it really quick.
And that's what I mean. It's like, love hard, because you never know. God forbid that happens to any of us. It's like, today I was like, I could have been the one who hit the girl, right? If I was the one turning, but it's like, I literally saw it happen right before my eyes. And it's like, it's crazy. Like, today when I was on my way to get my hair cut, I was like, I'm scared. Like, I'm so scared. And I was like, you know what, Lucie, there's way more things to be scared of than getting your hair cut. I was like, what did you just witness this morning? So it's like things like that. Like,
although getting a haircut could be scary for sure.
It could be scary.
Like, with the barber, just like complete, like, one bad haircut, bro, it's pretty detrimental. Nah, but
I've always wanted to be a barber.
Yeah?
Yes. Like, so
you still have time. You're still young.
Yeah. I love like details. I'm a big like detail oriented kind of person. So I feel like if I were to cut somebody's hair, or like a guy's hair specifically, like if they want like their girl's letter or something, like I think I would slay that pretty hard. Yeah. Are we recording?
Yeah.
Oh, what? I didn't even have my this thing on.
I like the super candid.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's all good.
Me telling you guys about how I want to be a barber. So
yeah. I could be. I wouldn't mind being your first, like, if you needed someone to experiment.
I feel like
it would just have to be like, yeah. I wouldn't mind.
Yeah. Thank you so much for that. Thank you for the trust.
Yeah,
thank you. I've never cut a guy's hair before, but I really think that if
maybe I'll be the second one. How about that?
You want to be the first?
Hey,
no, like,
you wear a lot of hats, bro, so you'll be good.
No, I'm like pretty careful. Like, one thing about me is like, I'm very good at details and like detail work. Like, I'm very good with like arts and crafts. Like, I'm pretty crafty. So like, I feel like if I were to cut a guy's hair, I think I'd do a good job. Yeah. So anyone need a haircut?
No, that'd be dang. Yeah. What would be your name? Like, because I think
Locks
you have
by Lucie.
Hey, that's dope.
No, I could probably think of another one, better one, but
Locks by Luce.
Because I feel like that's like for girlies, like the locks.
Or dreadlocks, you can get some. If you were braiding some hair, like
I could do that. I could do a little braid moment.
Yeah. Future career paths.
Yeah, no, I definitely think there's an abundance of opportunities out there. Like, if you set your mind to something, you can do it.
For sure.
And what's so cool is like, there's so many resources now, like YouTube, people in the community that are like willing to help you, teach you. There's different schools that you can go to online, in person. Like if you want to learn how to do something, you can totally learn. And that's what I really appreciate about this new age, is like their opportunities are endless. So if you guys see me open a barber shop, don't be surprised.
Hell yeah. What's your love language?
My love language? Oh, gift giving. I love giving gifts. Like whether it's like, for example, like yerba mate, I'm always giving my friends and family like cans of yerba mate. Like it's the way I just show kind of like, I mean, it's like nothing crazy, but it's like, it's a way to show my love in the form of a little yellow can. You know, it's like simple. It's cute.
People think gifts have to be like expensive, but it's really the thought.
It is. It could be something as simple as like, you could write a note and you can put like love you, and I will like probably get that tattooed one day. You know, it's like I'm very sentimental like that. Like it can be a simple card, it can be anything really, like a Polaroid of you, I'll put it on my dash, like you know what I mean? Like I'm very sentimental like that. So giving gifts is something that I really thoroughly enjoy doing.
Is that how you receive love too?
By receiving gifts? I would say but I feel like I like giving gifts because of like the reaction, and like also just like the sense of giving someone something that means something. It's like, it's cute, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Even like cooking for people. I love cooking for people.
I remember I heard you're a really good cook.
From who?
On your podcast, you were talking about it.
I was like, who said that? I was like, I'm so flattered. But honestly, it's like one of the only things I really know how to do like confidently in this world is cooking. Like,
really?
If you ask me to make something, like I will make it.
Any cuisine you can do?
I mean, like Mexican food is like my
top.
strong suit, right? But I feel like tomorrow I'm making dumplings, like pork dumplings.
What?
Because I've just been in that vibe. Like,
I love Asian food so much.
Yeah, like getting ready for my trip to Japan. Like it's just been on my mind. Like I want to start like getting excited, you know? So I love trying new recipes. I just love feeding people and like making people feel taken care of. Yeah. So.
That's there's a ramen place that you should try that is, I forgot the name of it, but it's in Japan, and they have them they have them all over the world now, but it's called, oh my god, I forgot, but I'm gonna send it to you. I went in New York, and it was like, it was so dope. Do you like ramen?
I do. Yeah.
You're a fan. For sure. Have you ever made pad thai before?
I haven't.
No.
I haven't.
I love Thai food. That's like some of my favorite food.
Yeah, you did say that you were in Thailand.
Yeah.
When was that?
That was last year. So that was last February through March.
And how was your experience?
It was dope. It was definitely, I was out there alone, so it was
no way.
Yeah, it was very, for sure, intimidating, and it was a crazy experience. Like I definitely want to do more traveling like that, because there's so much out there in the world that we don't realize, and
we have so much access to things. Like it's crazy how much we have at our fingertips, and how much we're able to experience. Like it's really, really special.
For sure.
I'm really excited to like see the world and like, meet new people, and just it makes me really emotional, like to think that we can experience so much.
Once you have a passport, like you can
do anything. Even if you don't have one, like
true,
even if you don't have one, like the internet gives you access to so many places and like so many things. Like it is pretty wild. So
for sure.
So passport or not, you haven't, even if you're like in the country that you're in, like there's so much to see.
And most definitely
so much to see.
You were asking about love language.
Yes.
Honestly, I recently discovered I really like giving gifts. I don't know what it is. Like
both of us showed up with a gift for each other. It was really sweet.
I don't know what it is. I think it's just like me thinking about like what would they really like, really like, and so I try to do that with I think I try to do that pretty often. So just giving gifts. Did I give you a gift recently or no? I'm gonna get you a gift, bro. Yeah,
it's special. Like even showing up, like let's say you're gonna go like, I don't know, like hang out with a friend, and like you pick them up a little drink before or something like that. It's like, it's cute. It's like, I love doing things like that. It's just like expression of just like appreciation. Like I'm about to see you, like I wanna like te quiero recibir con amor. Like I wanna
for
like,
sure.
You know what I mean? Like you guys feel me?
I've taken you Smoothie King a few times, bro. Just like Yeah, I made you some breakfast. I've some protein shakes and shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also another thing is I like showing up for people.
That too.
So is that a like what kind of is that quality? No, would that be quality time? I don't know.
Like for example, like let's say your friend is graduating, like you'd show up to their graduation type, or
Yeah, like I if somebody
Okay.
has something big or like something that's important to them, I want to be there because
Yeah.
I think that's I know for me if I was gonna do something and I just saw people like there, I'd be like, damn, like
it
and
means a lot.
yeah, and there's a lot of
Yeah.
people that they don't have people like growing up. I played a lot of basketball, and there was a lot of teammates I had where
NBA.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But no, yeah, there was a lot of teammates I had that their parents like or their family would never go to their games. So
Oh.
yeah, yeah,
Change the subject.
yeah. My fault.
Yes. No, I'm just saying like we take so much for granted. We take so much for granted. But I'm sorry. Yes.
No, yeah, I
You're
was just saying
it's
like yeah. So just showing up for people, I think is try to
Yeah.
do
Yeah, when I graduated from college, the friends that showed up to my ceremony, I was like, you guys really love me. Because it's like, you think about a graduation like at Don Haskins, right? The whole place is packed.
Yeah.
The ceremony is so long. It's hot. It's
you gotta
tiring.
park. You gotta
The parking, everything is just the amount of planning and intention and preparation it takes for that moment, especially to like go in with flowers or like a poster. Like, my God, like it blows my mind. Like things like that, things that take effort.
and then try to find you after the graduation.
That is the hardest part. I literally spent like 20 minutes on the phone with my mom. She's like, I'm by the stairs. I was like, me too. And she's like, which ones? I was like, I don't know. So it's like, showing up for people means a lot.
For sure.
Yeah. It means so much. So
Yeah. Are you single? Relationship?
single.
Single?
Yeah. Single.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you?
Single as well.
Single.
Yeah. So how long have you been single? When was your last
Like 3 years.
3 years?
Yeah.
Yeah. And do you feel like because I talk about this a lot on the podcast actually, do you feel like dating has changed, like, or relationships and just how like dating in our generation, do you feel like things have changed as opposed to like how they were before?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, with social media now and just phones in general, we feel like we have so many more options than we actually do. So it's like we could see somebody and be like, whoa, this guy's so cool, so cute, whatever. And then you go on Instagram and you're like, oh, well, this guy liked my story, like maybe he likes me. He also seems so cool, so fun. And it's like, no, like it's not the reality of it all. It's like if somebody really wants to be with you, they will show you that. And not anyone that you see is an option. And I feel like that's something that people think about a lot is like they have so many options, but that's not the case.
Yeah. So many. Like
so many options, especially with like dating apps. I personally have never had one because it's just not, I just don't feel like meeting somebody that way would be ideal for me. I feel like I'm more organic in the sense that I would want to meet someone just based off of just meeting them in a grocery store or like wherever, right? I just don't love the idea of meeting somebody on an app. But I mean, whatever works for people, right? But like me personally, I've never had one, but I feel like if you have one, that probably really alters your perception of your options as well.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think definitely the options is a big one because I think we talked about it before where it's like if let's just say you're talking to someone and like one thing that like obviously I think you should definitely like standards are important for sure, but also like there's sometimes where things that happen in like whether you're getting into a relationship or whatever, there's going to be things that happen that you actually have to kind of work through and work over. But having that mentality of like, oh, there's so many other people out there that will like, I have that like that are available.
A possibility,
then people are just super quick to move on, even if it's like, it could be a genuine person.
Yeah.
And just one interaction could be
enough for them to
yeah,
consider.
exactly. Which I mean, to each their own, like that's their decision. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know. It's just something to be aware of. I think that's what we're not aware of as like a society. I think it's very, it's just so different.
Yeah. It really is. But I mean, it also makes commitment, I think, more meaningful too, because it's like, it's like thinking about all these people who think they have all these options and then somebody really wants to be with you, I think proves a lot too.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Do you feel like as someone who has like, I mean, definitely you just have a lot going on. You're successful in what you're doing, and you have a lot of goals. And do you feel like getting into a relationship, like maybe the right relationship, can that excel you in what you're doing already, or do you feel like it takes away in a way?
Oh, I think the right person will take you many, many places.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you're, like I said, if they're not adding to your life, then they're not for you. So it's like, I'm somebody who I know I can hold my own, you know, like I'm financially independent, you know, I have my career, I have my degree, I have everything that I need. I know how to cook, how to clean, how to take care of myself. I'm not afraid to be alone, right? And I think I've made that pretty clear, and I'm very selective with the people I surround myself with. So I feel like if I were to be with somebody, it's because they mean a lot to me. And if I were to be with somebody, I know I would choose somebody that's only adding to my life and helping me get towards those goals, not like keeping me, I guess, stagnant or holding me back from things. Because right away, you know, you when you start liking somebody or talking to somebody, you just know.
Yeah.
You know, like when you know, and sometimes like you're like, oh, I really like this person, but you're like, oh, they're not for me. And like you're trying to make it work, but it's just not working.
So
it's like,
what is there something like that comes to mind when you like maybe like a red flag that maybe you've experienced, or maybe like your girlfriends have experienced, where like if you're on a date with a guy, what is something that like you're looking at?
A red flag?
Yeah.
Or like, okay, a red flag in like a first date?
Yeah, I would say like a first date.
I would say I love a man with manners.
Yeah.
Like, I love a man with manners. Like, I want him to open the door for me. I want him to be like respectful, like open, like, you know, like the doors and like hold my seat open. Like, you know what I mean? Like just general etiquette. Like, and if you don't do that, oh, I don't like that. Or like being on your phone a lot, or like, have you guys ever like experienced, like, I don't know if it happens often with women, but men like to flex really hard and tell you about like, oh, their cars and their money and their house and their this and their that.
Is that a pattern you see with like a lot of guys?
With some men, like they just like to be a lot of talk, but not like any
walk.
Not any substance. So it's like, I would say, like, if you can't hold a conversation, if you're bragging the whole time on your phone, no manners, like, I mean, first of all, I don't even think I'd go out with somebody like that, because you can tell even before, but it's just like somebody who just doesn't carry themselves with confidence.
Do girls nowadays, do they find that hard to come by? A guy who's gonna do like, I mean, they're gonna open the door for you, they're gonna they're just gonna have, general like etiquette in that way. Like, do you find that girls like are having trouble finding that nowadays?
I think so, yes.
Really?
Y'all need to step your game up. I'm kidding. But I'm not kidding.
No. See, the thing is, like, and that's something I was very curious about, because I think in a way there's a divide between men and women. I really do feel that. But I think it's really interesting to understand, like, all right, what are certain things that women are looking at that, all right, like, these are deficiencies that, because men, like, as men, we do have certain things that we need to work on. And vice versa with women. So like, that's why I'm curious. Yeah. Do you find it hard to find that in today's?
Ask us questions.
What would be a reason why a woman would turn down a man like with those qualities you just listed?
Like the ideal man.
Yeah. Like, what do you think would like why would a woman turn something like that down?
Man, yeah, that's a complicated question, because I wouldn't.
No, but what's even more complicated is that I know girls that like
the nice guy, like they don't like the nice guys. I think, especially in our age, like people think like, oh, I want to experience things and I want to like get to know more people and stuff, right? And it's like the nice guy is never considered. But I think if you don't consider somebody who's just kind, I think you have to do some internal focusing. You have to like work a little bit on that and what you're looking for long term, right? But I think it could be a mix of things. You know, sometimes people can be a little bit overwhelming, and you know what? And that's okay, because I find myself to be a little bit overwhelming sometimes too, because I love really hard. I'm not like clingy or like crazy in any way, but it's like sometimes people just can't match your standard, or like they don't feel like they can accept the love that they deserve. You know, like I said, when people can't accept compliments and stuff, sometimes people just don't think that they're good enough for you. So they're just kind of like, I just need to push you away a little bit because I'm not ready to be loved this way. And I think that's a common thing with my friends too that I've heard, is like they tend to push away guys who I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Like, why would you do that? And they're like, they're just like too nice. And I'm like, girl.
And see that's the thing, is like, I'm be honest, like, because in the past experiences that I have dated, it's been to where like I feel like I'm doing those things and
it just doesn't work out.
Yeah, and it's like
Yeah.
it's like, yo, like, because I've had that said to me before. I feel like I don't like accept
Deserve
this.
this. Yeah.
And it's just like, and at first, like, I really try to wrap my head around it, but then also I was like, like, that doesn't make sense to me.
But you know what? That's good for you.
No, yeah,
That's
exactly,
good for you.
yeah.
Like, if
Yeah.
somebody tells me like, oh, you're too much, I'm like, oh, thank God, because I don't want
Yeah.
to be giving my all to somebody who doesn't deserve that. Like, and it's the truth.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, if somebody tells you that they don't want to be with you, why would you want to be with them?
Mhm.
Right?
Yeah.
Like I said, it's like, go where you're celebrated, not where you're tolerated. Like, if somebody really wants to be with you, they will do everything in their power to show you that. And if they want to, you're like, you don't even, if you want to be with them, you'll do the exact same. And it will not come with like, oh, do I really want to do this? Like, oh, I have to see this person. Like, no, it's not going to feel like that at all. It's like, you will be more than willing and able to give this person your all, your quality time, your affection, your attention, and it doesn't come at like a price to you.
Mhm.
It's like with love and with care and with genuine just interest.
Mhm.
So it's like, I always say, like, I've had things happen to me like that too, where like I really like someone and I'm like, oh my God, like I can totally like picture this, right? And where I've told people like, I really like you, I want to, you know, go out with you, or like I want to do whatever, right? I've always been very forward with like the way I approach people. I've never been afraid to like shoot my shot. Obviously, like, not in like a like, hey, you know what I mean, kind of way. But if I like somebody, I'm like, hey, let's go get coffee or something like that, right? But if they don't want to, then that's okay. Like, not my loss, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
So like, don't be afraid to put yourself out there either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's. I mean, a lot of people are very afraid of. I mean, definitely fear of rejection is a big thing for like
But
a lot of people.
rejection is redirection.
Yeah, that's. I mean,
It is. It's like if
jams.
yeah, like if you don't want to, if someone doesn't want you there, why do you want to be there? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, take it as a blessing. Like, yeah, maybe they might be blocking your blessings, but it's like, you yourself know, like, you know what you bring to the table. You are the table. I always say
Yeah.
that, like, I am the table. Like, so you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, they're blocking their blessings, but they're also protecting you from wasting your time, your energy, your intention, your love, your care. Like, and don't ever see that as a loss for yourself.
And I think a lot of people can accept that. The thing is, I think what people gets to people is it's not a communication. Like, people suck at communicating now. So like it's not always said, and it's not like, for example, if it was me, I'd much rather it be upfront, and a lot of people aren't upfront in that way.
You're very confrontational.
Not confrontate. I don't
Okay.
think I am, but like I definitely I think it's just
I'll pull up on you.
I think it's just time is very valuable, you know.
Absolutely.
So yeah.
And the worst thing that you can do is not respect somebody's time, you know. And it's like, something I was talking about today when I was getting my hair done is the hairstylist told me, she's like, yeah, I've had a lot of no-shows lately. I'm sorry, but why? Like, it's not hard to just call and say like, hey, you know what? Also, be so real whenever you're canceling or something on somebody. Like, if you're not feeling it, if you don't feel well, just say that. Like, don't be like, oh my God, my neighbor's cousin's fish ran away. Like, I'm sorry, but that's not gonna slide. Like, it's not going to feel genuine. But it's like, the least you can do, especially like people in the beauty industry, is just like give them a call, give them a text and say like, hey, I can't make it, hey, this is what's happening, you know. And you know, just let them know ahead of time. And it's like, same with people. It's like, if you have plans with a friend, if you're gonna go on a date and you're not feeling it, better to tell them in advance, like, hey, you know what, like, I really appreciate you taking the time to, you know, like, ask me out or make plans with me, but to be honest with you, I don't want to waste your time, and I would just rather not follow through with this. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I wish you all the best and thank you so much for your time. That's it. Like,
Yeah.
and it's better because it's like, I don't really believe in closure. I really don't. I really think it's like a construct made to like make yourself feel better about something ending. But I think it's better, like, instead of ghosting somebody, just tell them like, hey, like, I just don't think that we align well, or I don't think that we're on the same wavelength. Like, thank you so much, but no thank you. Right? And it's
Yeah.
better to hear something like that than like think in your head like, oh, that what could have been, you know? Like, no, it's like that's not the case at all. It's
Yeah.
like you just have to be honest. If you're not feeling something, just say that. And
Yeah.
communicating something, even if it's really scary or it's a big demand or a big boundary that you have to set, if you say something and the person doesn't receive it well, that's a clear sign that they're not meant for you, right?
For sure.
But like,
what'd you say? What'd you say?
Which one? I forgot.
Which one? You got so many gems you forgot. No, it was when you have pure intentions, you don't lose people. People lose you.
exactly. Like, you couldn't have said it any better. It's like, just be honest. Be honest. It's not hard.
Mm-hmm.
It's not hard.
What do like? I don't wonder. Maybe do women think about this? Like, do women think about what men, like maybe men are looking for?
I would say like the typical traditional standards and values of like, can she cook? Can she clean? Can she take care of herself? Right? But I also think like women nowadays, like, I don't really care.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I mean? It's like, I'm not thinking like, how can I be perfect for this man? Or how can I be perfect for men, period? Right? Or like, how
Mhm.
can I dress to appeal to the male gaze? Like, that's never something that I think about. I do know like men are looking for a certain standard, and I'm not living to fulfill a standard for a person. I'm living to fulfill myself and my life and my role as like a human being on this earth, right? But I really do think, you know, it's just like the basic standards. It's like
Mhm.
just like what I would expect of a man is like to just have manners, to be kind, to be honest, to have good
I
intentions.
mean, standards as a person, right? As another human being. Yeah.
As a friend too. I would expect
Yeah.
the same things in a friend. I don't want a friend who's like not well mannered or rude or mean or judgmental. Like, just my standard of people. It's not that I expect anything of anyone at any time, but
Yeah.
I am selective with who I keep around me, right? So it's like, I don't think men or women think about what men perceive of them.
Yeah.
And I mean, if they do, then that's totally fine. Like, if they're trying to fit a role, then that's, you know, to each their own. But that's not something I think about.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, I know I will attract the right person if I'm just myself.
Yeah. No, that's dope.
What about you? Do you ever think about that?
About like what
What a
I-
woman would perceive?
I think men think a lot about what. Yeah, for some reason, like
Like, how should I dress? Like, to get the girls?
it's like it's more so like it just depends. Like, it's not something like, for me, it's not a conscious thing. Like, all right, what do I got to do? But it's like,
Yeah.
I guess it's in the subconscious where it's like, all right, like. But I think you hit it right on the money. It's like
Right on the money.
right on the money. But it's you look for really just certain things you would want in any person that you're gonna have around you. But for sure, I think for me, like, it's being down to earth is one thing. Like, just being just a nice overall, just a good, like, you know when someone's like,
We're like, the bar is so low. Just be nice.
right, just be a good, like, just yeah.
No, honestly, what I think now too, especially with so much access to so many people at all times, it's like, not everyone can be your everything, right? Or not one person can be your everything. So it's like, for example, you can have a partner, right? And this partner might be super creative and loud and fun and crazy, right? But then that partner doesn't really like to go to museums with you or go on a picnic, right? And that's okay, right? You can't be doing the same thing with that person all the time. Like, you can't be expecting them to meet a certain standard. You definitely should find an equal balance between your personalities, right? If that's something that you like to do. But it's like, we have so many people surrounding us at all times. It's like, hey, yeah, like, maybe your partner, you might be really big into basketball, and they're like, I don't know what basketball is. They're not going to go with you to every game. But if you have a friend loves basketball.
Yeah.
That's somebody who can fulfill that area of your life that needs to be fulfilled. So it's like we have people around us all the time, people we share music with, people we share like gym schedules with, people that we share the same kind of like food taste in, music taste. Like there's so many areas of life that are fulfilled by so many different people that we can't necessarily put a person into like this cookie cutter image, because that's not the case anymore. Maybe like in times where like you didn't have as many friends or access to the people, access to people as easy as you do now. But I definitely do think that, it's like now especially you have to think like that person can't be your everything.
Yeah.
But it's kind of beautiful because you have other connections with other people.
Do you feel like the same could be said about faith? And like, because you say like, all right, for basketball, it's like I love basketball.
Yeah.
But maybe my partner was like, like I don't really care for it. That's cool. Like go do your thing. Like go watch a game. Can the same thing be for like if I was super religious, or if my partner was super religious and I was not really, like we didn't like kind of share those same beliefs? Do you think it's possible to make that work?
I think that one's more complicated.
Yeah.
That one's more complicated because some people really take their faith very, very seriously. And there's faith in all kinds of ways. Like, you know what I mean? Like you could pray to God, you can pray to the universe, you can thank the universe, you can thank other entities, right? You can thank the moon, the stars, the sun, you can thank this, anything, right? The plants around you, the grass on the ground. Like you don't have to necessarily praise a certain God in order to have that spirituality, that faithfulness. But I do think like if you are somebody who loves deeply and somebody who has those standards of like, you know what I mean? Like love all, be kind, then by all means, yeah, you can totally make it work. But I think if it's an expectation, like a lifestyle change, like going to church or maybe reading the Bible, it is a sacrifice, not a sacrifice, right? But it is a compromise that you would have to make.
And once you have kids, right, it's like
that's another thing. It's like you cannot force somebody to be religious. I used to be very religious. Like I got confirmed. I had like, the whole Catholic celebrations, all that good stuff. And my mom was never really that religious, right? My grandma was, but my mom was never super into it. And I would tell her like, vamos a la misa. And she'd be like, ay, es que no quiero. And that's okay. That's totally okay. But it's like something that you just have to agree upon each other. It's like, you can really love somebody who has a very different perspective than you, but long term, how sustainable is that? Yeah. So it's something based off of your own perception of what you're willing to compromise with. But you can't fake faith. Yeah. You can't.
That's tough.
So,
because I think faith goes hand in hand with like someone's like value, like just truest, deepest values. Yeah. So yeah, it can be definitely a very complicated situation. Yeah.
Yeah. There's some people who are faithful in different ways. Like I said, like they pray to like the sun, the moon, the stars, the universe. And there's other people who are very based off of like Catholicism or Christianity. And that's totally okay. You just have to be able to find that happy medium that works for you and be able to make that compromise.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got any questions, bro? No. I know you said you had some questions.
Some questions for you.
Ooh, okay.
Ooh. Okay, so a question I would have for you is, if you had a song to describe your life, like the soundtrack of your life, what would it be and why?
Ooh, okay.
Like what's a song that just resonates with your soul? Like let's say I was making a movie about you, right? And at the end credits, it was this song. Or even throughout the whole movie, right? Let's say the song was like really long. What would the song be?
Oh, that's a great question, bro. Yeah. But I think I already have an answer.
Oh.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I love the song Stairway to Heaven by Led Zeppelin, bro. Ooh. And that might come as like complete surprise, like a complete curveball, but whatever reason, like that song is like,
that song has power,
beautiful to me.
Yeah.
And like it's I think because it starts off so soft, like so slow, like super mysterious, and then it just like the build, and it just, I don't know, I think that's the reason it resonates with me, because I think that's a lot of life is just like, I think life definitely has a lot of like ebbs and flows, right? But sometime like there's an origin and there's a beginning stage, and that's how that song starts out, and then slowly just like it's rising, and then it hits like a climax, and then it's just like, I don't know, it's definitely that song for sure though, I think.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's a very beautiful song.
Yeah. How about you?
Ooh, I would say, have you ever heard Diplomat's Son by Vampire Weekend?
I haven't.
That song is just like so fun, so playful. Like, and well, my dad was a diplomat too. I mean, he didn't have any sons, but if he was diplomat's daughter, then yeah, 1000%. But I mean, like, it's a song that it's just, I love Vampire Weekend too. I have like, since I was like,
is it like a rock song, or was it like a
it's like indie beach vibes. Like, and it's such a beautiful song, and it does have that progression of like super hype, super exciting, and then it just kind of slows down. Like, very beautiful song.
Yeah. So that's a song you'd want like in your in Lucie's documentary for sure.
Or In My Dreams by Kali Uchis.
Okay.
I always say that's like my theme song. Like if I had a TV show, I think that would be my intro song.
That's gonna be your song on this clip, one of the clips of the podcast for sure.
Oh, how sweet.
It's In My Dreams, you said?
By Kali Uchis.
Okay, yeah, I gotta check that song out.
Oh my god, how exciting!
Yeah,
how sweet. And do you have a favorite color?
Oh, ooh. I don't think about that much actually. What is my favorite color? I think I'm
Do you have one?
I think I'm purple.
Purple, like a light purple, dark purple?
I like the light purple.
Oh, gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think purple's dope. I don't know. I really like just. I mean, it's not really a color, but black is like a shade, right? Just. I mean, no, I think my favorite color would be, I don't wear it that often, but I really like a nice like turquoise, or like a
I love turquoise.
like a blue, like a sky blue, but a little bit more like more on the turquoise side for sure. Yeah, I love a good turquoise. I love pink. Surprise. Yeah, I love pink. It's definitely one of my favorites. Pink's a solid color. I actually really like that orange though too.
I love orange. Actually, orange is one of my favorite colors to wear.
Really?
Yeah, I love wearing a lot of color, and orange is a color that I feel like never does me wrong.
Yeah.
I should have worn orange.
There's certain colors that for sure definitely
like bring out the life in you for sure. Yeah.
Do you know what that is?
Whoa. I don't. It's like a molecule. Oh.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
No, yeah, it is. It's serotonin.
Oh,
yeah.
So good thing I didn't say something else. I was like, water. No. But I knew it wasn't.
Yeah, I see an H. There's a 2 and an O right there.
Yeah. I was like, I'm just not gonna say nothing.
Cool. Yeah. So it's serotonin.
Serotonin.
Yeah, and I think what was the reason?
Isn't that the happiness?
So chemical? So serotonin is.
I'm gonna change my name to serotonin.
First name Sarah, last name Tonin. That's what I say. No, I'm just kidding.
What'd you do if that was my Instagram name tomorrow?
Serotonin. That'd be sick.
Just kidding. I don't know what that one.
No, serotonin is so it's a neurotransmitter that's it's responsible for like basically like your emotions, regulating your emotions. And if you're deficient in serotonin or something's wrong with like that system, that's what causes a lot of anxiety and depression and things like that. So just based off like I started the podcast like just based off like mental health and everything. So
I love that.
Yeah.
What is something that you would say is like something that really helps you in times where you're not feeling mentally fulfilled or mentally well?
Yeah. I'd say the main thing, like when it's really tough, is my family for sure.
Oh.
Yeah, like most definitely. Like there's been times where like things have been really, really tough, and like just for whatever reason, like I mean, I've dealt like with a lot of anxiety and just things like that. But when things got really tough, like the main thing I would always look towards that would kind of just keep me going was always like the family for sure. Yeah, and I don't know, it's just like, I mean, we're super close, but I think that's like the something that we don't realize, I guess, like when we're so caught up in like whatever we're doing, like just in life, and we have so many like responsibilities and just every day, but like we forget that one of the main just the reasons that we're here is like to be with family and to be with like the people we care about, and just at the end of the day, that's what matters. That's the number one thing. So like what matters most. So yeah, they've definitely kept me going a lot. So.
And family doesn't necessarily have to be your blood relatives either.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like the people who show up for you, the people who show you unconditional love, the people who are able to give you constructive criticism in the kindest of ways. Like family is not just the people that you're related to in your blood, but you can make people your family, right? Well, you can't make them your family, but they feel like family. I have friends that feel more like family than my blood family sometimes, you know? So it's like, it really just, you kind of do get to choose your family in this life.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
what would you say for you that kind of would keep you going and when things get really tough?
It gets better, and you just have to take the step to show up for yourself and remind yourself of that, because sometimes really the only times that you can get out of something is if you pull yourself out of that, because it's like everyone's so busy, right? Everyone has so many things going on, you know, work, school, life, everything, right? Sometimes people don't notice when you're not well, and it's sometimes the people that are the happiest that are the most unwell. So it's like you have to kind of analyze and take a step back and think, why do I feel this way? And how can I make a change to feel even 1% better, right? And from there, like we talked about earlier, it's like a connection. Everything flows, right? So it's like whether it's making the effort to take a little walk, to write in your journal, to talk to somebody, to reach out, to ask for help. There's help everywhere, right? You can talk to a friend, you can talk to family, you can talk to a stranger even, and they're able to give you some sort of comfort in times where you really need it. So I feel like don't be afraid to ask for help, and don't be afraid to sit down and analyze why you're feeling a certain way, because you have to really take the step to change and to see what you can do to make you feel better. Because it's like, yes, sometimes people can make us feel better, but it's temporary, you know? It's like sometimes I have really, really, really terrible anxiety, and I'll go to my mom and I feel instantly better, right? But the second she's gone, I feel it again. I feel like that hole, that emptiness, and I'm like, why can't I just feel regulated when I'm on my own? How can I feel peace on my own? And that's whenever you have to kind of take a step back and realize, what is it that's worrying me? What is the root? How can I change this? What changes can I do in my life, in my lifestyle, to make my wellness a bigger priority, right?
For sure.
So it's like school used to be a big stressor for me, right? When I was in college, and exams used to stress me out a lot, but I was like, why am I so stressed? I have the material right in front of me. I have a professor and classmates that are my resources to ask questions to. I just have to sit down for an hour, really apply myself, and ask questions, right? So it's like there's a kind of a solution to really everything. My mom always says that there's a solution to everything except death, right? So whether you're like really, really struggling, you have a dilemma, you don't know what to do, it's like sometimes you just have to like take a step back, analyze, and realize, how can I make this situation better, right? So that, like with school, like I would just take an extra step to, you know, put time in my day to study a little bit harder, or to ask my professor more questions, or to, you know, take extra notes or stay after class, right? To make myself feel a little bit more secure. And granted, yeah, my test anxiety was terrible, but it's not something that's not doable, right? And if you need help, you just ask for help.
Yeah.
Whether it's like, you know, something really, really serious, pressing, mental health wise, right? Or it's like an exam or work. If you're stressed at work, you can ask for help. So it's like most things that are stressing you out or hurting you have a solution. They have a resource.
Do you feel like those answers are in front of people, are in front of you?
Yes, but sometimes we don't see them. Sometimes our mind is so clouded, we're not able to see what's right in front of us. And it's unfortunate, but that's why you ask for help. That's why you look for your resources. That's why you take a step back and you analyze and you think of how you can fix something. And sometimes you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't know the answer was right there. Like the other day, I was stressing so bad about something at work, and I expressed it to my boss. The next day, we had that solution figured out. He's like, oh, here's my contact for this. Reach out to them. That same morning, got it figured out 12 hours later. So it's like something I was like trying to do on my own and really struggling with, sometimes you just have to say like, hey, I don't know what to do. And someone's like, oh, I've done that before. Yeah, let's sit down and talk about it. You know? So it's like, don't be afraid to ask for help.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's like posting something on your Instagram story and like putting like best place for ice cream in El Paso or something, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
People are gonna answer.
Yeah.
Like, people want to talk to you too. So like, don't be afraid to just reach out or ask for help.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. Yeah, I think for sure. I think we can get very clouded in a way.
Mm-hmm.
I think what I kind of discovered when it was like when I was going through, because I mean I still deal with anxiety, but at one point when I was in college, it was like it was tough. But when I really started to get better, it was like, even though I didn't know exactly what I needed to do to like start feeling better,
Mm-hmm.
it's like in a way, the answers are there. It's just you kind of got to start with what's providing you with like the most resistance, like what's on your mind that is really like, and you wouldn't think to kind of lean into that resistance,
Mm-hmm.
but a lot of it is like that's what you have to do. But a lot of people do kind of run away from their problems in a way, and for whatever reason. But I found it like when I started to kind of face things head on, no matter how kind of resistant I was towards it, it's like the answer sometimes can be right in front of you, and you just have to know that's what you got. Like this is what I have to do.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it is like, all right, yeah, that's it. And another thing I discovered too was when I stopped focusing so much on how I was feeling, and then I turned it around and I started focusing on like, all right, how can I make someone else feel better?
Mm-hmm.
And it's almost like instantly where like you kind of just take your mind off of certain things that you're going through, and it just makes you feel better overall just about yourself when you're not just so focused on what you're feeling, and you try to make a positive impact on someone else's life. And it just like, that's a pattern what I see with a lot of people who've dealt with a lot of mental health issues. Once they started focusing on other people, how to serve other people and just be there for other people, it really helped them a lot. So like, yeah.
Sometimes the problem isn't even necessarily you. It's like trying to figure out what you can do to like, you know what I mean? Like to not even just distract yourself, but like fulfill something that you feel is missing,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And it like I said, sometimes whenever you're focused on the wrong things, you know, you feel very clouded. But then whenever you start focusing on the right things, the little things that like you trip about don't really exist anymore.
Yeah.
But that's why you need to surround yourself with people who can kind of ground you too, you know, like keep you in the right headspace and keep you focused on what you need to focus on. Because, you know, sometimes we go through things alone, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, have you ever talked to a friend and they're like, oh, this is what I was going through, and you're like, I had no idea,
Mm-hmm.
you know, or like, I noticed something was off, but I wasn't sure. It's like sometimes people are too afraid to ask. They're too embarrassed or too nervous. So just like keep an eye on the people around you, you know, and check in. Even if they seem fine, check in, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's things that people tell me where I think a lot of people, maybe because I talk about it openly.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, a lot of people that I would never think that are really going through something like really tough.
Mm-hmm.
Like they'll tell me, I'm like, damn, bro, like I really had no idea.
Mm-hmm.
So it's, yeah, for sure. Everybody's kind of battling something in a way.
Absolutely.
Something I'm always curious too is like there's people always talk about like men kind of being vulnerable about mental health.
Mm-hmm.
From your perspective, like should a man feel comfortable about being, I'm sure there's like a definitely, it depends on the person, right, and the time and everything, but should a man feel comfortable in that and like feeling that he could be vulnerable and like some of the things he might be struggling with or feeling to maybe a significant other in a way?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. I feel like no matter how you're feeling, you know, like whatever you identify as, whoever you are, like you should feel safe enough to speak how you feel.
Mm-hmm.
And like how we were saying earlier, it's like if you're communicating something to somebody and they're not, you know, like reflecting that well, it's like that's not the person to tell. But I think definitely like nobody should be embarrassed about how they feel. It's like we all have feelings, you know, we all have feelings. We have to talk about them with somebody. And I feel like it makes me sad like when people are like, yeah, guys can't cry, guys have to be so tough and all this stuff, right? It's like that's not the case, especially now with our newer generation. Like we're so accepting of everybody, all walks of life, all situations. Like we just have to be open to hearing anybody's experiences, right? And I feel like you should just always have an open heart, an open mind to what anyone is going through, right? And be able to guide them correctly or with love, even if it's a situation that you have no idea how to navigate. Just have to approach them with love. Like, you know what? I don't really know what to tell you, but I'm here for you. Thank you for opening up. I appreciate you. And, you know, you are loved, you know? So it's like men should never be scared. Ever. Yeah. Women should never be scared either. I think everyone should. Are there
like, do you come across women that are like very kind of hesitant to be open about certain things like that?
Yeah, I have friends who are very private about their emotions, and that's something that you have to respect, but you also have to remind them, like, if you want to talk, I'm still here, you know? Like, if there's anything you want to talk about, by all means, I'm all ears. No judgment, no judgment, no harshness. I'm here for you. But yeah, we just have to respect each other's emotional patterns, but also don't let anybody feel apprehensive to open up. Even if you're not the right person in regards to navigating how to help them, you could just listen and maybe offer another solution. Like, you know what? I have a friend who went through the same thing. If you're comfortable with me telling them about you and the situation, I can connect you guys and we can find a solution for this, right? But yeah, always reach out and don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to.
Well, some people don't even like. Some people when they get they don't even really need advice. A lot of people need someone just to freaking listen, because we're so like, I think we're so distracted and like we're so, and it's actually kind of hard to sometimes come across people who really just like
want to listen.
Yeah, and like are there and like, you know that they're there and they're actually hearing what you're saying, and they feel like there's been times where people like talk to me and I'm there and I'm listening and it's like, wow, like you're, and they feel that, like you can feel when someone's genuinely like really listening and they're present and they're hearing you out. Sometimes that's what someone needs, because
but you also have to keep in mind that sometimes people aren't in the right mental capacity to receive that kind of energy. Yeah. So you do have to say, you know, like you do have to respect other people's emotions or what they can handle as well.
For sure.
And if you do want someone to just listen, you have to communicate that as well. Like, I don't want you to tell me advice or opinions. I just want you to just listen to me if you have 15 minutes. And sometimes people will be like, by all means. And sometimes people will be like, well, I think that you should do this. And I think, no, right? But I do think that if there's something really heavy that you need to talk about, just make sure that the person that you're opening up to has the mental capacity and ability to really listen to you. If not, there are professional, counselors, therapists, and I think that helps a lot of people as well, because there's not a lot of bias there, and it's more professional. And sometimes, like, if you're going through something, a friend may guide you the wrong way for like revenge, or like, you know what I mean? Like, do this and post this and tell them this, right? And it gets you even deeper and more involved in the situation than you even want to be in the first place. Just because sometimes hearing the opinion of somebody that matters to you, or somebody who influences you maybe negatively, it can really alter the way that you end up processing those emotions. So definitely try to find people who are willing to listen, but let them know you just want somebody to listen. Or are you able to, spend a few minutes listening to XYZ? Just make sure that you approach people correctly about something, and I'm sure that they'll be able to reciprocate the energy that you need back.
Yeah, for sure. That's I agree with that.
Because like sometimes, like, have you guys ever been like in a really good space, right? In a really good mental space, and then your friend or somebody you care about comes in and they're like, oh, I hate the world, I hate this, and like, you're just not at that place to be able to like be like, yeah, it does, everything sucks, you're like, no, everything's great, and they're like, what do you mean? No, it's not. It's like we're all at different levels sometimes, and it's like you can't go to somebody who's like doing really well and really happy with something really bad, because they're not gonna see you eye to eye, you know.
For sure. There's a question I really like that you asked on the other pod. It was, what's your, like, I think it was, what's the best day, like, what's your ideal day, like, in El Paso? So I wanted to ask you the same thing.
Yeah, you're very involved in the community, so you're gonna ask me, or I'm gonna ask you. My ideal day. So my ideal day, honestly, I always say I'm living the dream. I really love my life. I love my routine. I love the things I get to be involved in. I love going to the gym in the morning. I love, you know, feeling the morning and really like indulging in the glory of a morning, right? The quietness of a morning. So early morning, a good little workout.
Where do you work out at?
Connective Fitness Club.
Oh, I've heard some good things about Connective.
It's a great place to be, yeah. So I do a lot of cycling, a lot of yoga, mat Pilates, all that good stuff. So I would say it would start with a good workout. Good like mind-body connection, you know, celebrating the fact that we're able to move around and feel, right? And then go home, get ready. Like if it was a weekend, right? I would ideally say like I love my job and I'm so happy to be in downtown El Paso and get to experience the city. But obviously, like for work-life balance, I already told you guys my routine with work. But on a weekend per se, I would say that I love tea parties. So I love spending time outside, you know, making a good cup of tea in a little cute teacup.
I've never had a tea party. That seems so dope.
I'm gonna change your life.
I didn't think it was like a thing here.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
wow,
it's like
okay.
one of my favorite things. I think life is a tea party, right? So it's like just celebrating, you know, like putting intention into like whatever you're making, whatever you're brewing, right? And like sitting down and really indulging in a cup of tea, right? When do you do that? Never, right? But I've tried to make it something that's in my routine and something that I can take time to like really, like, you know, thank the universe for everything that I have, right? So mornings, I like to have a cup of tea. I love going out to like concerts. I love just really anything, just going out, you know, seeing the city. I tend to be downtown like 7 out of 7 days of the week.
I love downtown. So is there a restaurant that, where would you, if someone was coming into town from El Paso, so like a friend that never been to El Paso, where would you take them to dinner?
Ooh, in an El Paso spot. Oh my God. Definitely like Café Central.
Ooh.
Have you guys been to Café Central?
I've been there once, and that's because I was doing like some content there. But we got to eat some brunch.
Very nice.
Never had their dinner, but their brunch, I mean, it was amazing.
Yeah, so I think Café Central is really special because it has that I'm a huge El Paso fan, and I'm a huge downtown fan. Like if you know me, you know I'm always downtown. You know I'm like a huge advocate for downtown. But Café Central has like that standard of like traditional local El Paso vibes, like very like, I don't know, I really appreciate ambiance. Like whenever you set the tone, right? Set the scene for something. And I think like in a fine dining aspect, they really do a great job of like setting the tone, right? Setting that like you don't even feel like you're in El Paso. Not even in a negative way. I think El Paso is lovely, but it just transports you to a whole new experience, right? So like you go, you sit down, like they have like the piano playing, like so pretty.
The attention to detail is actually insane there.
Insane, so beautiful. And like you can go walk around downtown after. So I don't know, I would just say spending the day out and about, or even spending the day at home, just like getting things done, you know, making candles is also something I really love doing. So just like spending the day either in my community, at home, and around people I love.
Yeah. Sick.
Yeah. What about you? I feel like I didn't give you any context. I was like, these are the things I like to do. This is what it would be like. But
for sure. I think that's dope. I love downtown. So I don't. What's your
favorite part about it? Or like your favorite part to hang out in?
I love like if I could live anywhere, it'd be probably New York. Okay. So like I love walking. I think that's what it is. Like if I could walk everywhere. And
a walkable city.
That's the thing, is like El Paso is like the least walkable city. So like if I were to live anywhere in El Paso, it'd be downtown because I can just walk everywhere. And yeah, like I love the aspect of just walking. Like don't get driving's all right, but I don't know. I love that type of like lifestyle. Yeah. So for sure it'd be like wake up, for sure get a workout in. Yeah. I think that's big. I love to cook breakfast, but if I'm not going to cook breakfast, I'm going to go to Where would I go? Have you ever had tea coasters? Have you ever heard of tea coasters?
I haven't.
Okay, it's an east side. It's more on the east side.
East
So
side
yeah,
thing.
okay, yeah. What about Juicery? Juicery Plus.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's one downtown.
Yeah, exactly. So I really like Juicery Plus. That's one of my favorite
Slay.
spots. Yeah, I'll go there. Yeah, just hang out downtown. I'd probably go to Viable Coffee because that's my spot. I love the vibes.
Yeah.
And then I would like to like do some editing somewhere like at Viable, for sure. Read a little bit, and then I'd go to, if I was treating myself, I'd go to Taco Neta for sure.
Oh my god, I should have said Taco Neta instead of going. You know what? I love both, but I'm always at Taco Neta.
Yo, like
I'm
that place is
always
so
there.
good.
What's your order?
Ooh, okay. I'm gonna get so I'm dabbling in more seafood.
Okay.
But so like I like I think it was like a fried fish taco or something like that.
Slay.
But I'm gonna get I think it's like a brisket. The suadero. I think it's called suadero. So I'm gonna get the suadero. I'm gonna get a chicken taco and then maybe like a seafood one. I love the sweet potato there.
Yeah.
Sweet potato's fire.
The green beans.
The fried green beans are crazy,
Don't
bro.
get me started.
Have you been to Taco Neta, bro?
Okay, we're going.
We're going on a date there, bro.
Yeah.
I'll take you on a date
insane.
there, bro. A best friend date.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll pay, bro. It's the first time. But no, for sure, the fried green beans.
Yes.
And then I like what is it, margarita. There's like a really good margarita there.
The
That
hibiscus one.
hibiscus
Yeah.
margarita. Damn, yeah. So
we know our stuff.
no, that place is so good.
So good.
Mhm.
So good. Like every single time without fail, it's always good.
For sure.
It's always good.
Plug Taco Neta on the
Yeah,
MVP.
it's the best. It's the best. I'm more plant-based, but they have something called the milpa bowl, and it has like quinoa, it has like lettuce, it has like it just has like a bunch of fun stuff in there. It has the sweet potato.
Yeah,
So
and they have
yeah.
do they have a mushroom taco
The mushroom
there?
taco I was about to say is my other order
Yeah.
too. That's like amazing,
Yeah,
incredible.
that place is fire.
You can't go wrong
Yeah.
going there.
If you do you go out? Do you like to go out?
I do, but I don't really drink that much. Or like, yeah, just like I do love like going out and having fun with my friends, but like I'm not like the type to like go out and drink.
Yeah,
you
for
know?
sure. So if you do, where do you like to go? Like, what's a cool nightlife spot that you like?
International. I love
International's dope,
international.
yeah. We were just there like last week maybe. Yeah, I like the patio. Like the patio vibes,
Yeah.
dope.
It's the perfect spot. You see San Jacinto Plaza. You get to walk around downtown. Like, and I really love that international has been so popular in like the recent year, especially because now that I work downtown, I've always loved downtown, right? But like getting to see how much it's growing and the appreciation from like our generation is really special. Like I love seeing so many people downtown
Yeah.
and enjoying the nightlife, the scenery, the lights, you know, San Jacinto Plaza. Like downtown is so beautiful, and I'm so blessed to work there every single day. I thank my lucky stars because I love it so much. But yeah, I love international. The vibes are amazing. The music's amazing. They have what is the place, the food place there?
Lick it up.
Yes,
Yeah.
so good.
What's crazy is that I ate there one time not knowing it was like vegan. And I ate everything and it was like, it tasted slightly different. It was really good, but it wasn't until after it was like, oh snap, like it was a full vegan spot. Yeah.
So I really love that. They like do it so casually too, you know? So it's very beautiful. And I think Juicery Plus is also all vegan as well. So really, really cool to see spots like that, you know, growing in El Paso and having that variety. But yeah, international is my favorite spot. What's yours?
I would say for sure like a downtown spot. If we want to get like really kind of turn up a little bit,
Turn up.
just on occasion.
Yeah.
Malo Lam's though. I like Malo Lam a lot.
Oh, I've actually never been.
No,
Mm-mm.
I
But
like
I
it.
love Montecillo.
Yeah.
I think Montecillo is like one of the first places in El Paso that was like aesthetic,
Yeah.
you know? So it was like when it first came out, I was always at Hillside, always like, you know, in that area, and it's
For
very
sure.
special.
Yeah, I like Malo Lam just because there's like an outdoor vibe, and then I don't know. It's just it's always been pretty good vibes there. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I love that.
yeah. So how would you describe El Paso to someone who's not from here?
Oh my gosh, El Paso is so special. El Paso really is a very community oriented place. There's so many different networking opportunities here, so much room to grow. It's a city that I would say is developing a lot in media and culture, and there's a lot of potential here to grow. So it's like I've said before, it's like El Paso, typically people who do well here tend to escape to bigger cities that have opportunities where the market might be a little bit more saturated already. But here I feel like there's so much room for growth. It's a city where everyone really comes together, shows up for each other. The culture's so rich. I mean, even things like Fit Fam, like it's crazy to see how much people connect over like chisme, you know, in the city, or like an accident, or like people really care to be involved in like even the most mundane things here. And it's a city that's just full of love and support and people that just love to have a good time. So I think El Paso is a very special place, and I'm so lucky to be here. Yeah. What about you?
I think you hit it right on the money.
Right on the money.
No, yeah, for sure. I think El Paso is very unique. I always say it's a very unique city. I love, like, I've really grown. It's not that I've never liked El Paso, but I've over like especially this past year, I've really grown to like really love the city, because there's so many there's so many great people here that have so much going on, so talented, and like they're
so many people are just making the name for the city.
Yeah, for sure. And that's what I love the most.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, El Paso, I definitely, I want to do so much more for it's really dope, but I want to do so much more for it. Like, just, there's so, like you said, there's so much room for growth. And yeah. Well, I have actually one question more.
Yes.
That's really good.
Ask me anything.
Maybe this might be a little bit hard, but who's someone that you'd personally want to hear on this podcast that you know?
Someone I would want on this podcast. There's a lot of wonderful people in this community. Let me think.
Yeah.
Have you had any girlies on the podcast?
I've had, so you're my third one, but yeah, so it's been my sister and then my sister-in-law. So you're the first official, like, I would say for sure girly. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Someone who I would love to see on here is Danielle Savvy D. She is an influencer here in El Paso, and she is a sweetheart. She puts everyone on, super amazing. She's lovely, and she's someone I really look up to in the community. She's just very involved in a very organic and fun way. She has a marketing agency called Digital Empire with Mike as well. Mike is someone who I think would add a lot of value to your podcast as well. But I think she's just like a girly in the community that's like really just doing it up. And she has like her own style, her own image. And she's somebody who I feel would do really well on this podcast. She's so fun. She's so funny. And she's just a woman in the, woman in business, really, woman in marketing, who is just really doing it up right now. And she's put me onto a lot of things, and she's opened up a lot of doors for me as well. So someone who I really appreciate. So love you, girl.
Yeah. Savvy D, right?
Savvy D. I'll send you her Instagram.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I definitely want to get more girlies on the pod for sure.
More girlies in business. Yeah, she's fantastic. She's like one of the first people that came to mind for sure. So many other people too that I wish, I'll send you more info too.
For sure.
But yeah, she's someone who came to mind as well. Yeah.
I mean, any other questions?
No, I just wanted to thank you so much for having me on today, and thank you so much for just being open to having me here, having such amazing questions to ask, and for doing what you're doing for the community and for El Paso. It's something that not a lot of people are doing right now, and you're doing a really wonderful job. So I wish you all the success in your podcast and in your career and in your new business as well. And I'm so proud of you, and it's such a pleasure meeting you for the first time. So if there's anything you ever need, you know where to find me. And thank you guys so much for having me on here and for being so open.
For sure. I mean, I really appreciate it. It was like you said earlier, like we've heard so many great things about you. Thank you. Like everybody has nothing but positive things to say. So
thank you so much.
I'm definitely glad we were able to make it happen.
Oh my God, I keep on running into the mic. Sorry.
But yeah, for sure. I'm so glad we were able to have you on, and I'm sure we'll do another one like in the future, sometime in the future.
I would love that. I would love that so much. Thank you so much for having me on.
Yeah, of course.
If there's one thing in this world I can do other than cook, it's talk. So, so yeah, I'm known to like never shut up. So thank you so much
for sure.
for having me on here and for taking the time. It really does mean a lot.
No, for sure.
So yeah, thank you so much. You're wonderful. And I hope that, you know, anyone who's listening can learn a few things, or if there's any questions that anyone wants to say, by all means, open to it all.
Yeah, for
sure. In a nice way though, remember?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
But yeah, man, that is episode 19 of The Most Vulnerable Player, the MVP podcast. You can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube. Instagram is at The Most Vulnerable Player. My Instagram is diego.ram_. And what is your information, your Instagram?
My Instagram is just at Lucie, Lucie Calderon, Calderon.
For sure. And then shout out to my boy Curry in the background, just helping us out. And can't wait to get you on the pod, bro. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you so much.
Yeah, for sure. Till next time, y'all. Peace out.
See you later. Thank you.